And now bringing you that hard hitting fight analysis, submitting you into paralysis. Josh Thompson head kicking leg to dome, and Big John McCarthy saying let's get it on.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Weighing In podcast, where it's a Tuesday. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about. You got the PFL coming up from Dubai. You got the UFC at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, the rematch of Ankalaev versus Pereira. All kinds of things going on. We had fights that took place where people got knocked out after the fights. We got fights that people want to make, like Dustin Poirier and Diaz. We got all kinds of things to talk about. But my man went to the Kansas City Chiefs football game with his son, and I love the pictures that you put out. Those were awesome. Did you have a great time?
We had a great time, man. I had an opportunity. Luckily, we've worked in the TV industry quite a while now. For me, it's been a little about 10, 11 years, I think. You've been a superstar forever, right? So John's got all of his connections, but myself, it was good. I had a great relationship with Amanda, who we used to work with at Bellator, and she's still working for CBS Sports, and she's got a great connection over there. And it was good. I had an opportunity to spend some time, hanging out with her. We haven't seen each other really since the wrap of Bellator. She's come into Dallas a couple times and been able to catch a Stars game because she's from the Dallas area.
Yeah.
Hung out a little bit, and it was good. We had a great time. So
that's good.
Good. Son got to meet Tony Romo. So
your son looked like he had a blast.
He did. Everybody and all of our friends here in Dallas were a little jealous. They're like, "What? This guy's."
I'm gonna sit here and say something. I hate to do this, but God bless you for wearing a Priest Holmes jersey. I love that.
Oh, come on, John. I've been a fan for so long.
I know, but just when I saw the 31, I went, "Oh, look at that! He's got Priest Holmes." All right, that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, you have to throw it back. You have to let everyone know that you're not a casual.
Well, you could have put a 35 on too. I would have been even happier. Probably,
Christian McCoy, 30, I got all of them. So it's like I have Joe Montana. I've got a lot of them, man. So I don't know. For me, it's always I wanted my next one's going to be Jamal Charles. Love everything he does in the community. Love everything about him as a running back.
He was great. That dude was fast.
He was fast. He went to school at University of Texas. I mean, and what I love about him is that, he grew up with like a speech impediment, and a lot of kids kind of gave him a little hard time when he was younger, and he just kept trucking away at being an athlete, being this, and man, what a stud. Love everything.
Don't make fun of the kid with the speech impediment that can run you down and freaking hit you over the head.
He just seemed like every time I ever saw him do interviews, same thing with Priest Holmes. Every time I saw them, they do interviews. We had other guys like Larry Johnson, those guys. I just like, man, I couldn't stand. Like, that was like an era of when I didn't really enjoy watching the Chiefs. Yeah. I don't know what it was, but and then like we had Derek Thomas.
Number 58, baby.
Yeah, that's the only jersey that I don't have that I want to get.
Yeah.
We've had Marcus Allen, Joe Montana, Elvis Gerbach. We've had Trent Green. We've had everybody.
Don't talk to me about Elvis Gerbach. Please.
Yeah, I know. But still,
next thing you're going to bring up Steve DeBerg.
All the guys that came from the Bay Area teams that played on the Chiefs, it was like
there's a bunch.
Yeah, my family was like always gave me a hard time. Oh, you get our leftovers, this and that. We all go to the Super Bowl with your leftovers with Joe Montana. Almost three times. So, yeah, we were there. I just couldn't get it done, man. It was close, but we're making up for it now. These last couple of years, Mahomes doing his thing. I'm glad that we went. Our first game was a win, especially against the Ravens. It made me.
They looked really good. I watched the game. They looked really good.
They did. They needed to, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're finding their stride, because we have a really tough first 6 games.
Your schedule's tough.
Yeah, our schedule's real tough. So, but. John, the things you do for your kids.
This is true.
I didn't film with you on Saturday night. Thank you for covering. It just came down to, man, I got offered to let go, and and it was like, okay, it was a special trip for my son, and I told myself, and I even posted about this on my Instagram at The Real Punk. I just said there's things when you hit a certain age that they're not as important until you realize having kids would be more special doing it with. Yeah. I got to a certain age, and I actually never went to Disneyland until I was 30 years old. And I hit that age, like right after I went to Disneyland, I was like, this really wasn't as fun as I thought it would be. I bet you it would have been more fun had I went with my kids. And I still haven't taken my kids to Disneyland because I want them to enjoy it. Like at the really young age, they're waiting in hot lines. They're just like, oh, I can't do it. And now that they're older,
Yours are the right age.
I'm ready to take them. But I mean, I wish I would have waited for that experience to go the first time with them. I just enjoyed it all together at once.
Have you been to Disney World?
Nope, haven't been there either.
Then you should go to Disney World with them because it's the first time for you.
That is something that I'm actually looking forward to doing because Jen Brown's mom, she does a gymnastics tournament there every year and a huge deal. And so we're actually talking about doing that hopefully this year. So there was that. And then, you know, when I got done with Disneyland, I literally just said, this might be one of those things where I feel like things are sometimes to be done better with once you have kids. And I wasn't sure if I was ever going to have kids, but I was like, there's no rush for me to go to a Chiefs game. I always talked about it. There was moments where I could have, and I was like, nah, didn't really want to spend the money. It was pretty frugal with my money when I was a little bit younger. After I got past that initial phase of blowing money, I was like, okay, look, it's time to hunker down. But this was one of those moments that I was like, you know, when I go to Arrowhead, I want the first time to be with my son. So, or my daughter, whichever one, you know, we may end up going, I'll probably end up taking her later.
You'll take her.
But at this moment, I just know, especially because where we were sitting, we were slightly outside of the heat, but it was hot. It was hot. So I was thinking to myself, man, good thing we didn't bring her. She would have been miserable like 30 minutes in. She's like, I'm ready to go. Can we go inside? Because we had a clubhouse level. And so she's like, let's go in where the AC was, where you sit and watch on the TV. But we had a good time. It was a blast. You know, Amanda was absolutely amazing. Thanks for hosting us and taking care of us and stuff. So I had a blast, man. CBS Sports people were amazing. And it was awesome.
Okay. Dave's playing music now.
So it was great. We had a great time. Great. That stadium is obviously, everyone knows it's the loudest stadium in the NFL. Right, it's right ahead, just slightly ahead of Seattle's 12th man.
It's the shape of the damn thing.
Yeah, it's awesome though. It goes straight up. Got a nice little bowl. Seattle cheats a little bit because they actually have like a half cover on the sides, except for the bowl.
They cheat.
Yeah. So, but it's cool. I still yeah. I mean, I'm still kind of like, I'm enjoying the fact that I went and had a good time with my son. We had a great time. I drove 8 hours, 7.5 hours overnight, showed up at 5 a.m. at my aunt's house there in Kansas City. I got about 2 hours of sleep because my daughter was wide awake, and then got up, got some breakfast, drove to the stadium, you know, got settled in around 11:30 over there at the stadium. And then we had 3 hours until the game started. So by the time the game had started, my son was ready to sit down. I was like, okay, I can't wait to sit down because we had walked and done all the games and done all the wheel spins and all the football throws and all the cornhole and everything you could do. So we had a good time, and then game was going good. Thing it was blowout. It was starting to be a blowout towards the middle of the fourth, and we were like, okay, we're out of here. So we left a little bit early, and it was good. Beat the traffic and got back. Picked up the family at my aunt's, and then I threw them all in the car, and we drove home that night.
Slick off again.
Wow. Yes, I took some coffee and got home by, I think we got home by like 4:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, got a couple hours of sleep, got the kids ready, went to school.
Hey, experiences, time together with your family, and those experiences that you will never forget.
Absolutely. So, I mean, these are the most important, I guess, for myself, even for yourself, right? Every day is a blessing. I think people need to realize that. It's
no doubt about it.
You know,
life's too short.
Yeah. It truly is. You don't realize it. I've got a longtime friend who lives in Las Vegas who I played soccer with in high school, both out of Coeur d'Alene High School up in North Idaho. And, you know, he's, I think, a year younger than me or 2 years younger than me. We played soccer together in high school. You know, he's battling through cancer right now. He's got, you know, 3 young kids, beautiful family, you know, and it's rough, man, to see people you know and you grew up with. And I just think to myself, like, you chasing the money, you chasing the dreams. What are you doing? I'm just chasing more time with my kids. And so...
yeah, there comes this point in your life you finally figure it out, and it's one of those, you know what, money's great and you have to have it for certain things, but the most valuable thing in your life is time. Because when it's up, doesn't matter how much money you have, it's up.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't get it back. You know, there's all kinds of things. There's a song by Scotty McCreery called 5 More Minutes that's out there, and it's like, yep, what you get for 5 more minutes. And sometimes, you know, you'll never get that. So take the time that you have to have those special moments with your family and friends and everything, because it doesn't come back around.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree. Yeah. John, we also we have some other news, and I was on to just to let you kind of take away on this.
We have other news.
We have some other news as well, and this to me is more like we talk about time. I really cherish the time that I have with you, and obviously with Dave. Dave's been part of our show since we started the show, and Dave was with me before we even started the show. When we had Sammy the Punk, and then we changed Sammy the Punk to weighing in, and we've created something great here and stuff. So, but I'm just gonna say that it's been a great time these last. How long has it been, Dave? How long has it been?
By God, it's been
6 years. In fact, it's 6 years last month, because August was the first show, or August or July was the first show we did.
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I felt like, John and I are at different points in our lives, and we both, John's getting ready to retire, and I'm still kind of trucking away, trying to figure out how I'm gonna keep paying for my kids' school and sports and everything. So John and I have been discussing this stuff, and John is getting the itch, I think, a little bit more.
Well, you keep on freaking bringing shit up. It's your fault. Okay. Now, I want to tell you this, and this is to both you and Dave. Thank you. Thank you for having the time to spend with me to do this podcast. I've had a great time. I am going to be leaving, and it's because there's a ton of reasons. And the main reason is this. It's like everyone, I live on a farm. But if there's one thing, I think if there was one thing that you were going to point out, it's not so much the fighting that you miss. It's the things that you do to get you to the fight with the people that you do it with. And there's a camaraderie and a brotherhood with those people that, it goes away. It never ends, because you can always meet them and see them and laugh with them and talk and have a good time. But it's a moment, that when it ends, it's kind of over. Mm-hmm. And I have the ability to, kind of get it back a little bit. So I'm going to go back to officiating some. I'm going to be doing all kinds of different things. I'll be doing, MMA and bare knuckle and boxing, and I'm going to be all over the place doing stuff. And it's because I get to work with some of the people that I really have a high, level of respect for. And I can't do that and this. And so I had to make a decision, and it's just one of those. I have a hard time being away from it. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the passions of my life. I could be making a huge mistake. I don't think so, but I have a small show that I'm going to be doing, coming up Saturday. Right? It's Saturday. So I'll be doing a show on Saturday to start it off, and then everything's about getting my feet wet and getting back into doing what I enjoy. So I will be leaving, but I want everyone to know, thank you so much for tuning in to us, for listening. I hope in some way that we helped educate you or benefit you in some way with our podcast. Josh is going to be continuing on, and I can't tell you, I don't know who he's going to bring on, if he's going to bring on someone, but I'm sure there will be someone way smarter, way better looking than me. And I will miss doing it, but you got to, you can't have everything. And so I've kind of figured out where I want to be, and that's what I'm going to do.
I planted the seed about the White House card, and this
you
son of a gun.
It was, I'm being honest, I thought about it one day, and I was like, fuck, is that really what you want to do? Yeah, that's what I want to do. All right. And so then I made one phone call. Yeah. And from that phone call, everything got in motion, and that was, I called you and said, "Hey man, I got to talk to you." And you did. You kind of planted the seed, and it's not that I want to go do I don't want to do the White House. That's not it. But it was the thought of getting.
Oh, you're doing the White House?
Oh no, you're doing the White House? No, I'm not. But it's all good. It's all good.
I mean, there's a lot to take in. Like, there's just a lot. Like the podcast industry, it's been flooded now. So that's one thing. So there's a big flood of talent that are coming in. You got a lot of fighters that are coming into it as well. John, I've been blessed enough to do this with you for 6 years, and the honest to God truth is you're not going anywhere. I mean, I guess it feels like we're breaking up, but you and I, we're friends outside of this. And that's people don't realize is that like Dave stayed at my house last Saturday. 2 Saturdays ago, but he stayed at my house with his kids and his wife and his family. like we have a family here, and it's not going to go away just because, you know, we're not doing the show together, you know. And John, you and I text each other at least once or twice a week, at least. Yeah. And, you know, whether it's about MMA content or conversation or the pod or whatever it is, but, you know, Dave and I text each other quite a bit as well in between. And he tries to pencil me in here and there because he's a schedule kind of guy. But, you know, I'm looking forward to, like, there will be times where I'm like, hey, I got to get John on tonight because there was so much controversy. And you can bet your ass that John's going to pick up because that's what John does. And so it's a matter of, you know, it just, I don't know. We're both trying to figure our way, I think, through this next couple of years. And I think I've talked to you already, like, you know, you're probably ref for a bit, you know, and enjoy it as long as
not long
longer can. And when you're done, you know, deciding you want to ref anymore, you know, as well as I know that the podcast is always going to be here. I'm hoping that it'll always be here. Yeah. So it's up to you guys that are all listening. I hope you guys realize the longer I stay around, the longer chances we get Big John back. So we're going to try to keep this ball rolling. And I just want you guys to know, if you guys have questions for John, you know, before his last show today, you know, like I said, we'll be having him back periodically throughout, and he'll be able to jump on whenever he has some free time. I'm sure I'll bug him quite a bit in this next couple weeks, months, especially with 2 pay-per-views coming around. You know, and look, he's looking to try and get some more reffing and some judging in himself and get back on track and get back ingrained into the sports of whether it's boxing, bare knuckle, all of these things. You did CJI, about 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Something like that. About a month ago. Yeah. Something like that. And so, yeah, it'd be great to, you know, see you back out there. And I'm hoping that I'm fingers crossed. I'm hoping I see you on the White House card. Everyone that's listening, make sure you guys tell Dana White, get John back. Let's go. Get John back on these cards. Think about it, John. Everyone's been complaining. The commentators, everyone's been complaining about the judging, the reffing. Well, let's figure that out. I'm just here
to take the heat off the other people. They can all throw the heat my way now.
I've got the example. I've got the perfect person to take the heat off all the other referees right here.
That's it.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you back inside, whether the cage, the circle, the square, whatever it is. So
I appreciate it.
Yep. All right, guys. Hey, guys, drop your super chats down. If you guys have questions for John, we'll try to get to all of them before the end of the show. Drop them all down on that and let us know, man. Dave, what do you got for us, man? What are we talking about today? I mean, obviously, UFC 320, Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. This is going to be a great card. Absolutely stacked from beginning to end. I've noticed these next 2 pay-per-view cards are awesome. Just absolutely awesome. But John, let's start with the main event. Let's work our way down, man.
No, dude, you know, like you said, it's a rematch, and it's a rematch that I've been hearing all kinds of stuff about. You know, people going, "Oh, it's one that, you know, no one wanted to make the first fight, and why would they want to make the second fight?" And it's like, have you lost your minds? Why would you not want to see a second fight? Yeah, the first fight was more technical, and it was fought in a way that you could see both guys absolutely respected the skill sets of the other. I do think that you're going to see more out of this second matchup than you did in the first one. I think you're going to, you know, I think Alex Pereira understands my output was not anywhere near what it normally is, and I need to up that. And, you know, if he doesn't up it, he's going to end up in the same position he was in the first one, where Ankalaev, I believe, is looking at his game plan that he had in the first one. It worked well, and it was smart. And part of it was the pressure that he put. Can he put that same pressure back on to Pereira and make him have a problem with his output? Ankalaev, you know, we know that he can wrestle. He doesn't seem to want to do it a lot. He likes the stand-up. And no matter what, you've got to admit, the guy is good in the stand-up. It's not like, oh, he's a great wrestler and he's a shitty stand-up guy, but he wants to throw hands. No, his stand-up is really good. And he is an accomplished striker. He's an accomplished grappler. He's just good all the way around. But both of these guys have the power and the ability to put the other guy to sleep anytime during this fight. So when you have a fight that you look at and you go, man, you know, either guy can win. It's not like it's, there's no doubt in my mind one's going to win over the other. I can't say that in this fight. This is an absolute, you know, I'm going to say Ankalaev is the favorite, but, you know, there at any moment, all it takes is one from Alex Pereira to change the course of the fight or to end the fight. So either guy can win this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got the punchy power of Alex, and Ankalaev's got power as well. He's also someone that, look, most of the people, you and I both have sat up here and complained about the fact that he doesn't utilize his wrestling enough. That means that a majority of his fights he's won by doing what? By standing with some of the top guys.
That's it.
And so to think that he can't stand with Alex is just ridiculous. He stood the first time. He did threaten a couple, I think 1 or 2 takedowns throughout the fight, and they were kind of like half-assed just to keep him thinking about the takedown. I almost feel like he listens to the podcast and is thinking to himself, hey, Josh always says just threaten it and it'll be just fine. Well, he proved that in his last fight. He threatened it a little bit and now he's just fine.
And you got to be honest. Look, on the ground, he's not a submission guy. He's never had a submission.
Yeah.
He's not won one fight by submission, but he's got a whole lot of knockouts.
No, absolutely. I think he's just someone that he can put the pressure on. He can land big shots. He just fights a very smart fight. That's one thing he does very well. Yeah. And I think in that first fight, he did a very good job of keeping Alex guessing. He kept him on his heels, and he made him fight a very unorthodox fight. He wasn't sure if he was going to wrestle. He changed levels a lot. He threw a couple kicks here and there, and then he realized, like, I can just throw straight right down the pipe. Alex throws a kind of a lot of loopy shots. And what I mean by loopy is even though they're very technical and they're very tight, they're still circular. They're not straight down the pipe. So he throws the overhand right a little bit. He throws the left hook really well, obviously. But they're not, I guess they're not fast, and they sometimes are straight, sometimes they're not. They're just, what's the word I'm looking for? He is getting a little bit older. He still has all the technique and the power, but Ankalaev is a little bit younger and throws straighter shots. So those are the little tiny things. You can be this better striker. You can mix things up a little bit better. But Ankalaev has a little bit of that youth on his side, and also too just feeling it right now. And that's where I'm leaning towards Ankalaev, and I know it's easy to do that because he won the first fight. Most people will do that. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it for the reasons that I've seen inside the cage. Is that I think if Ankalaev threatens the takedowns just a tiny bit, it'll start to make Alex do exactly what he did last time. Yeah. It will slow the output of his strikes out or down. And when that happens, you're going to end up with, Ankalaev potentially taking over the fight again.
Yeah. It's one of those, you can look at age. Age is, it has something to do with things when you look at it. Ankalaev's still young. He's 32, 33 years of age.
I think so, yeah.
So, 33. Pereira is 38 now.
Pushing maybe 39.
Yeah, coming up. But, the one thing that always scares me about Alex, and I always see it, he's always sparring people. And sometimes it's not good sparring. I'm like, dude, you don't need to spar like that. But hey, he knows what's good for him. But he takes a lot of shots at times. Mm-hmm. And I look at that and it's like, ugh. But like I said, he has the power to put Ankalaev out. He does. He's just got to get that power on target. And like you said, the speed factor, I think he is slowing down a little bit. Not a ton, but a little bit. And that always makes it harder to get that power onto that target where you want it. You can throw the punch at the right time, and it just doesn't get there quite at the same speed and velocity as before. And so it doesn't have the same effect.
So here's the thing in sparring. When you're sparring, you feel like you can take those shots because they're 12-ounce gloves. Yeah. Or 16-ounce gloves. You're feeling like you can take those shots. In the fight, you're wearing 4-ounce gloves. Big difference. Okay. Yeah. You're also able to protect yourself a little bit more because the gloves are so big at 16 ounces. They graze off the glove. They don't hit you clean. All of those things happen.
That's if you keep your hands up.
That's if you keep your hands up. He doesn't do that very often.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
And let's not pretend like he's also sparring with like really good boxers, kickboxers, all of those things. Every time I've seen him spar, he's sparring with someone who's a professional boxer who's got who's got a lot of talent. Yep. So I see all of those things. But we go back to what I was talking about the speed, is he was able to get away with his speed differences when he fought other fighters because he was so good at keeping range. That's what a good striker does. Mm-hmm. He's very good at keeping himself just slightly outside of range because he feels your speed. He sees it. He feels it a little bit. And then he actually can adjust by sliding the back foot in and out, make you miss. And then he comes back right away with a counter. I'm just not sure if the speed is enough for him to counter anymore, even if he's slightly outside of the range. And that's when you start to notice those little differences of when he's getting hit a little bit more than he should. That, and then you add that other split second delay of thinking, is he going to throw a punch or is he going to shoot? Those two things, like you only need a second, maybe two, a second and a half. It's kind of in that mix of, okay, do I take a step back and get outside of the range of the strike, or do I lower my level and go right into the punch, kind of, to try to drop my weight and dig the underhooks.
Yeah.
So those are the things that we're gonna see right off the bat. Is he gonna come out and throw careless because he's like, you know what? Last time I was clammed up, I didn't let my punches go, and apparently there was some injury and all this other stuff. Like, how much different is he now? And I've noticed that he's not on social media as much. He never really did much on social media except just post pictures of him being stoic, which was great. Everyone loved it. They ate it up. I was one of the, I loved it. I love watching him just be that person because it's fun to watch him fight. I'm not going to take anything away from him. No. I just do get concerned that Ankalaev may have his number threatening the takedowns and the straight shots and the punches, and younger and more youthful and a little bit more speed. That kind of will slow Alex down a little bit more because of the wrestling and the potential of the straight punches. So I'm leaning towards Ank, but I got to be honest, John, it is a fight. And when someone out like Alex has the power that he has, I mean, it only takes one shot.
That's it. So either man can win. So that's when it's a great fight. Mm-hmm. Second one, you take a look at the co-main event with Merab Dvalishvili taking on Corey Sandhagen. Man, this is a good fight. This is such a good fight, and one that I've wanted to see for a long time. What do you say about Merab? There's nothing bad you can say about him. He's fun to watch. He fights his ass off. He's the Energizer Bunny when it comes to MMA. No one gets him tired, and he's taken and he's created a special place in people's hearts for a guy that was, when I really started to like him was when he was second fiddle to Aljo, but the way that he played it, he goes, "Oh, I'll never fight Aljo. No, he's my friend," and he didn't care about fighting for the championship. His thing was, I'll fight everybody else. And he did. He fought everyone else and he beat them all. So it was almost to that point of like, and he wins the title and he's been fantastic ever since. And then there's Corey Sandhagen, who you look at, he's always been that one step away from getting that title shot. And now he's got it. I think he is one of the smartest fighters out there in the way that he fights, the way that he analyzes things. His length is got to be a problem no matter what for Dvalishvili as far as the striking, but it also might help with Dvalishvili and his takedowns based upon, you can get into Corey because he is so tall. It's tough for him to, keep guys that are that shorter base. He's got to come down to meet on the sprawls and things like that. But in the stand-up, you got to go with Corey Sandhagen. He is a sharp striker. Not that Merab has not really upped his game in the striking game, but everyone knows it's his wrestling and his grind that makes him special and makes him who he is. And on the ground, he's definitely got that advantage. So this is one of those fights, again, you look and you go, who can impose their will? Who can make the other man fight at the range and pace that they want to set? That's the one that's going to win the fight.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And look, I think Corey Sandhagen learned a lot from his fight with Umar, just learning how to not be bouncing around so much, learn how to slow the pace of the fight down. Look, wrestlers, they actually get a little bit more nervous when you stand directly in front of them and you give little tiny subtle movements. When you're constantly moving around, especially in a 5-round fight, they know that you can't do that the whole fight. Yeah. They know that you can't be on your bike the whole fight. And so, look, all I got to do is just keep putting that pressure and stay slightly out of range. And I don't have to worry about anything because you're going to get tired. All I have to do is just shift my feet side to side, leave my back foot in the middle of the cage, and move my front foot left to right. Just picking you and just kind of slightly move in, slightly move out. As you're bouncing around, running around away from me, it's very difficult to do. If you guys go back and you guys watch my fight with Nate Diaz, I was getting tired in the second round. That fucking knockout couldn't have came any fucking sooner. I swear to God, I was getting exhausted. So when you think of guys like Corey Sandhagen, the lighter weight guys, they normally have great gas tanks. So he didn't start to slow down against Umar until like midway through the third round, pushing maybe into the fourth. And that's when Umar started to take over. And the first couple of rounds were close, whatever it was, but Umar was having kind of not his way, because he wasn't over dominating the fight, but it was one of those fights where he was able to do certain things to make Corey.
He was being successful.
Yeah, making Corey more defensive than offensive. And Corey learned a lot from that. And I think that's why the takeaway is that he learned so much from that fight that it's getting him ready for Merab. I will say this though. Merab has me a little nervous.
How's that?
Basically saying, I don't plan on really shooting.
I'm going to throw hands with him.
I'm going to strike with him. He said 90% of this fight is going to be on the feet. John, what are you doing?
I think you're telling a lie.
I hope. I mean, like, if I'm his manager, I'm like, I hope you're telling a lie.
Yeah,
I hope you're telling a lie.
It doesn't, again, it really doesn't matter. It has happened, but it doesn't matter what the person says. It matters what they do.
Yeah.
But we saw it with, Bilal Muhammad. He said, I'm going to stand with him. And he wasn't lying.
No.
For the most part, he stood with JDM, and that's probably why he ended up losing the title. But you would think that, look at John Wood is a fantastic coach. He is, he's going to be in Merab's corner. I know that Ray will be there. Ray Longo is going to be there in his corner. They're both very intelligent coaches, and and even though Ray, he wants the striking, he's going to go, take him down. You can hear him now. Take him down.
No.
And so, you got to go with your bread and butter. And
Absolutely.
his bread and butter is, man, taking people down and just mauling them. And he's great at it. And that's what he needs to do, in my opinion, to get a win against Corey.
Now, we saw, though, also in the Umar fight that getting the takedown is not as easy as it seems to be. Umar struggled several times, especially in the early rounds of getting that takedown. Merab is a different animal in terms of it's the relentlessness of it all, right? Umar's good at getting in deep, and he tries to fight for it. If he doesn't get it, he's cool with backing out and get back to his feet. Where Merab is a little bit more like the Khabib style. He just keeps pushing on you, keeps pushing you forward, keeps coming up on the single, to the double, to the body lock, all of those things, to the fence.
Merab is the closest thing that we've seen. A lot of people try to compare Islam with Khabib. The closest we've seen to Khabib it's Merab.
Yeah.
The way he fights.
Absolutely.
And that's why he's so damn successful.
Absolutely. If you've got that gas tank and you've got that ability to chain wrestle, and then, with Merab, he's just got to add a little bit more heavier shots to his ground and pound, whereas Khabib was able to lace the legs and really do a lot of damage from that top position. But I can't take anything away from Merab. This is going to be an extremely tough fight for Corey Sandhagen. And I like what you said about Corey. Corey was someone who looks at the sport a lot differently, looks at the fight a lot differently than most fighters. He's, I don't want to say he's overanalyzing things, but he does break it down inside.
He ultra analyzes it, though.
Exactly. It's so fascinating to me to watch him do the things that he does. Follow on Instagram, I see the way that he kind of breaks fights down. I see the way he analyzes a fighter. It's so impressive.
Yeah.
So impressive. Something about him has me believing, like, John, if I sat down with him for 2 seconds, he would change my mind. I'd be thinking he's going to beat Merab. He's going to outstrike him, or he's going to out wrestle him. He's going to grapple. If he tells me these things, I would probably start to believe it, because he says it with such confidence. And most fighters are that way, and so I'm very gullible, and I'm going to just believe everything they say. As soon as they say they can beat him, I'm going to believe him. He's got all the skills, though. His grappling's gotten a lot better. He's off of his back. He's pretty damn good. He's good at keeping up on his feet. He made Umar work a lot when he did get him down. He made him work to keep him down. These are all things that Merab does very well. But Corey's been improving so much over the last 3 years. Phenomenal fighter, a technician. He's very slick on the feet. Merab's got to be very careful with the way he enters for his takedowns,
especially with that knee up the middle.
Yep. And the feints, he's going to have to bait him into throwing first, and then look into chain wrestle from there. He can't just shoot raw dog. I mean, there will be moments where he can, but he's got to be very careful. The knees up the middle, the height, all of those things are going to give him problems. That was the one thing that I was surprised that Sean O'Malley didn't utilize enough of, was the push kick up the middle, the knees up the middle, all of those things. But then I went back and watched the Sean O'Malley fight. A lot of Merab's shots were not waist level or knee level. They were almost like low level ankle picks, shooting low enough to grab the ankle and put the head on the inside of the knee, and then try to come up, for an Iranian, or just come up through the bottom on a single, circle around, all of those things. Corey's gotten so good at the wrestling defense that I'm really excited to see how he handles Merab's pressure is one. How often does he move around? How much output does he have in terms of when he is moving? Does he strike off of that movement? Those are the things that really dictate how often Merab will shoot. If Corey's just moving and not throwing, then Merab can shoot anytime he wants.
Yeah.
You've got to move and strike and make him think about when he's going to enter. And it can't always be the same strike. It can't be the jab all the time. He's got to mix it up with the push kick. He's got to mix it up with maybe throw a spinning kick in there. Something that keeps Merab guessing like, shit, this stuff's coming from everywhere. I've got to be careful when I enter. So Corey's done a great job of breaking down fighters before in the past. Can he break down Merab? That's going to be the question. This is a fun fight card, man. This whole card, I'm going to get all the way down into like the second or third fight on the card, John. I'm thinking to myself, let me tell you about this guy.
Yeah, let me tell you, I don't know who's going to win this fight. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Rountree. This to me I'm excited because Khalil feels like the confidence is there. I went my rounds with Poatan. I had some success in moments of the fight. I can stand with anyone. I don't have to worry about your shot. Yuri doesn't hit as hard as Poatan, but the punches do come from angles that I may not see, and that could potentially end it. But if I just come aggressive on you and throw you off balance, I can catch you trying to defend. And he doesn't defend. Yuri does not defend striking and takedowns the way that normal people do. He kind of moves away, runs away, spinning stuff. You got to be careful for all those things. But Khalil's got a good chance of catching him in moments where he's just not defensively sound.
No doubt about it. And that's why, again, but Yuri does things so unorthodox at times that he's dangerous. And you have to be careful of it because you can get caught. You can get caught in those moments where you think, oh, he's not really fucking doing anything. And all of a sudden, here it comes. And he'll blast you. And he's got power. One thing about Yuri Prochazka is he is very strong. Mm-hmm. He's a strong human being. He's a big human being. He's going to look way bigger in this fight than Khalil Rountree. Now, Khalil's going to look put together and built, but you're going to see a dramatic size difference as far as the height and the reach of Yuri. I think is going to be quite a bit more. Dave, do me a favor, take a look and see what the two are as far as the reach. But height-wise, I know he's going to be bigger. And there's one thing about Yuri that he tends to do really well with. He does well with people that he knows aren't going to take him down or try to take him down. That he can be the one dictating when that happens. Mm-hmm. But Khalil has all of the tools now to give him problems if he just stays composed during the fight.
Yuri's 80 and 80. Khalil is 76.5.
Okay, Khalil's longer than I thought, 76.5, but 80 inches that's a long reach.
Mm-hmm. Yuri may be long and taller and all those things. But like I said, defensively, he is not a very sound fighter.
No. He's got all kinds of openings. You're absolutely right. But that's what makes him fun to watch. That's what has created who he is.
I'm not taking away from the excitement of watching him fight because he's all over the damn place. And that's why people like watching Michel Pereira, and they like watching Yuri. Like they're all over the place. The jumping backflip into the guard, those are things that get people thinking to themselves, man, this guy's wild, jumping off the cage. Anthony Pettis became popular because of the jumping off the cage to the head kick.
Oh, yeah.
And people remember that. And then he just grew from there to trying new things. Those are things that people hadn't seen before. And seeing a guy like Yuri fight with the thing coming out of the top of his head. That's
the thing.
By the way.
Whatever it is.
The big long braid all pushed together. That's gone now. And this is one of those fights where this is a make or break. I don't want to say it's not make or break for Khalil, but if he's going to get back to a title shot and an opportunity to fight for a title, this is it for him.
He's got to beat this type of fight.
He's got to beat him, and you've got to be able to beat Yuri Prochazka. And Yuri is kind of on this shit or get off the pot as well in that situation.
It's getting there.
Yeah, not just getting there. It's just he's been knocked out. He's had a dog fight. He's had some rough goes and some good fights. He's all over the place. He's fun to watch. I go back to him in his Glover fight. John, that fight was one of the sloppiest fights we'd ever seen between two fighters.
But it was great.
But it was a great fight. It was so fun to watch. Yeah. So I look at this fight for Khalil and I go, look, this is your moment. You've got to make it count, buddy. I feel like he has that confidence right now. He's feeling the vibe of, look, I've done everything I possibly can. I'm in a great spot right now to get another shot at the title and potentially me next. If he beats Yuri, I think he would pretty much be next for the next title shot.
If it wasn't for Alex, he's undefeated in the UFC. Let's be honest. Alex is the only guy that's beaten him. Beat him twice. And so you look and you go, he's gone through some really good competition inside the UFC, and he's been stopped by Alex Pereira. Okay. that can happen. But I agree with you. Part of, the whole thing is, can Khalil take advantage of some of the mistakes in what Yuri does and make him pay for those mistakes by damaging him?
Yeah. We're going to see. That's why we fight the fight, right?
This is true.
If you had to pick a winner in this fight, who are you leaning towards?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. Only based upon – I love Khalil, so it's really tough for me to, look at it. Just based upon the way that where they're at and everything, I have no idea. I really don't, man, because I love watching Khalil. I love watching Yuri. They're two completely different styles, and I appreciate the way both of them go about it. I think if the fight is hitting the ground, you're going to see Yuri having the advantage.
Yeah.
I think if it stays in the stand-up, you're going to see Khalil having the advantage.
No, I agree. I agree.
That's really where it's at.
Well, I also look at it, Yuri, I don't think has the ability to take Khalil down.
Yeah, I'm going to say no, he does. Well, and it's like, let's be honest, Yuri's taken down people like Vadim Nemkov. Okay, so now that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But he did. He took him down after Vadim got tired and stuff. But he's got the ability to take people down, and he's gotten a little bit cagier with it. I don't think he's going to get that typical wrestling takedown done on Khalil. Khalil's very good, especially with straight ahead attacks. Guys that are, trying to lower the level and come into his legs. His sprawl has gotten really good. He's good at stonewalling guys. He's strong. Khalil is a strong individual. So Yuri's going to have a hard time getting there.
Yeah. I mean, I think outside of just Khalil reaching or lunging in and Yuri having the right timing to get him down, that's the only time I really see it happening. Unless both of them get extremely tired and you just see one of those really lazy kind of takedowns where I dive at your legs and you trip and fall and give me the takedown. But I think that Khalil's going to end up being able to keep this fight on the feet. Now he's just got to be careful not to get caught with anything spinning, those spinning back elbows or spinning back fists, anything funky that Yuri throws. He's got to be careful not to get caught with those. But John, Youssef Zalal versus Josh Emmett, the old guy versus the young guy. The UFC is known for doing this.
Yeah.
This is a good way to build up the guy who's potentially could be on his way up, who's younger, against someone who's potentially kind of on his way out. But let's be honest, Josh Emmett has fought all the guys he's fought in the last, 2-3 years. All of them, to me, are better than Youssef Zalal.
I'm not saying I'm not going to say you're wrong. I will tell you that he's fought. I'm not sure that Youssef Zalal is a different kind of fighter.
With that little comment?
Because I don't want to say anything about somebody in any detrimental way.
He's not a bad fighter, John.
He's a
fantastic.
He's a great fighter. But here's the difference. If you're going to sit there and say, has Josh Emmett fought higher quality opponents than Youssef Zalal? No doubt about it. He's been in the game longer, and he has fought. He's fought the very best of guys. Here's a guy, he fought Shane Burgos. He got a win against Shane Burgos, and that was freaking slobber knocker of a fight that ended up, going to a decision when you thought, well, one of them is going to knock the other one out. Nope. But, he's fought guys like Dan Ige. He's fought, Yair Rodriguez, Ilia Topuria. He's fought just the who's who. If you're looking at, he even fought Lerone Murphy, didn't he? That was just one of his last fights.
Yes, it was. I think his second. It was Lerone. It was his last fight. Lerone.
Okay,
Murphy.
There you go. And so
Lerone's last. It was.
And you got guys in there like Michael Johnson. I know he fought. He fought Jeremy Stevens. He's fought everyone in that featherweight division, just about that you can think about, other than Volkanovski. And I don't think I'm not sure he ever fought Max. But
no, he did not.
Those are the only two that I can think of that he hasn't. So.
Nope. Shane Burgos, Michael Johnson, Ricardo Lamas, Scotty Holtzman. I'm going down that's way down. You've got other guys.
Scotty Holtzman, man, from Tennessee. Yep. Good guy.
Dan Ige, Calvin Cater. His only losses are to Yair, Ilia, and Lerone. And that's since 2023.
Okay. So I know he lost to Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah, but he lost to Jeremy Stevens. That was in 2018.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. But then he rattled off a bunch of wins. Michael Johnson, Bektik, Mersad, Shane Burgos, Dan Ige, Calvin Cater. He rattled those wins off. Then he got to Yair and Ilia Topuria, and then Bryce Mitchell, and then Jeremy, and then Lerone Murphy. I mean, he was back right there.
He's right there.
He was right there about to lose to Michael Johnson, and then he caught Michael on one of the exchanges in the third round.
Yep.
But he was losing that fight, John.
Oh, no doubt about it. But he has the power to change the fight at any moment. And I like this. It really gets down to when you're talking about a featherweight fighter. You're always looking at age. I'm sorry, you have to. And when you're looking at age, you're saying, well, Josh Emmett is 40 years of age, and the guy that he's going to fight is, way younger than that. If you're going to be honest about it, being that he's not even in his 30s yet.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that came to the UFC with a lot of hype. He ended up having to leave based upon he just wasn't performing up to, the expectations. He went back, he got wins, and ever since he's come back, he has performed the way they expected him to perform the first time they signed him. And he's gotten some good wins against some quality opponents. Guys like Jack Shore, tough dude. He does have a win against Calvin Cater.
Billy Quarantillo Quarantillo.
Billy Q.
Yeah.
Yeah, Quarantillo.
Yeah. So he's got a submission win over him. He's got
which is impressive because Billy Quarantillo, if there's one thing about him, that kid is a gamer. He does not stop, and he keeps coming after you. And so if you got a win and it's a stoppage against Billy Q, that's a huge statement right there.
Well, I mean, John, let's be honest. Look, when he was in the UFC before, right? He had a win over Austin Lingo, had a win over Jordan Griffin, then he had a win over Peter Barrett. Then he loses to the current champion Ilia Topuria. And then he loses to Su Wong Choi, who obviously, had a little bit of a run there, and that
Wonder Boy.
Yeah. And then he lost to Sean Woodson, who I'm gonna be honest,
strange style.
Very difficult to fight.
Very difficult body style and everything. Yeah.
I trained with a guy that was 6'4", 6'3", 6'4" at 155 pounds. Can you imagine it being another 10 pounds lighter and you're not that big? And it's very difficult to take them down, especially if they've got good footwork and they've got good boxing and kicks a little bit. They just keep you at bay. It's like, man, it's so frustrating to have to deal with them. So I understand, like, those losses, you can't be mad. Ilia Topuria is the champ. He's a 2-division champ. That was your loss in the UFC.
Yeah.
Kick rocks, buddy.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. That's the point of looking at right now with Yusuf. Look, he's got speed. He is well-rounded now. His stand-up is really good. Very clean, very sharp, technically good. His ground game has gotten way better. Now, I don't see him really trying to out-wrestle Josh Emmett. But if he hurts him and goes to the ground, he's not just going to stand up. He'll stay on the ground with him.
Yeah.
And I just look at the age factor. 3 rounds is not the worst. If it was 5 rounds, that would have a definite impact, in my opinion. Yeah. But at 3 rounds, if he can push the pace on Josh and make Josh have to work hard, you're looking at Josh starting to get a little bit, tired in that second and a half to third round. And you're looking at Zalal. Yusuf is just he's not gonna get tired. He's not gonna stop. So I got to go and say this is one that I think the UFC is looking at using Josh, just like you said, and saying, hey, well, we'll see where you're at, because this is an up and comer. And does the up and comer win, or does the old wily veteran pull it out?
Yeah, I mean, for Yusuf Zalal, this is your moment.
Oh yeah.
Like, this
is your chance.
Yeah, this catapults you right into the good graces of the UFC. You did what we wanted you to do. We're able to start weeding out the guy who's probably costing me quite a bit, and moving you up into the rankings to start pushing you towards the title shot.
That's just the way,
it's just the nature of the business. It's not
the nature of the business. That's the life cycle of a fighter.
The business. It's not when we say the UFC is because it's the biggest brand in the world when it comes to this sport. It would be any other organization does the same thing, whether it would be Strikeforce or Bellator or PFL. They're going to start weeding out the older guys, and they're going to build the name off the older guys for the younger guys. That's just the way this goes. Yeah. I'm predicting the same thing that you're predicting. I'm predicting that Yusuf Zalal in a 3-round fight, he'll be able to fight him how Michael Johnson fought him. He's just got to avoid the big shot. So if he can do that, which I think he'll be able to. I think he's been able to probably watch enough footage of Josh Emmett, be like, okay, look, I can do this, this, and this, get away, kind of just, keep my distance, utilize, maybe even threaten a couple takedowns here and there myself.
Yeah.
So who knows? I'm not saying he's going to get him, but I'm saying that he could slow the fight down if he needs to. If he needs a break and a breather, get into those clinches and stuff. So, but I think he'll stay on the outside, pick and choose his shots. I think those are, that's the way he's going to get it done. And a 3-round fight, I think it'll be a little bit easier for him to do.
Yep.
You've got Abus Magomedov versus Joe Pyfer.
Joe Pyfer going up against Abus. I look at this and Abus Magomedov is a very good stand-up fighter. I don't know of many people that are going to be able to truly handle the power of Joe Pyfer when he's on. And I've seen Abus come out strong against guys like Sean Strickland and do well, but actually throw so much that wasn't able to have the effect that he wanted, that he just burned himself out. And I think he's going to have a real hard time, getting past the pressure and the power of Pyfer. Joe Pyfer's coming into his own. People are looking and, he's had a couple little, if you want to call them stumbles, I guess. He had the fight that was canceled. Didn't he have a fight that was canceled, I want to say?
Recently?
Yeah, he got sick.
Yep.
I want to say that it was supposed to be against Kelvin Gastelum. Yeah. And then he went and he fought him. But he had that, and people were saying, "Oh, he can't even make it to the fight." It's like, what the hell are you talking? People get sick.
Yeah.
This shit happens, dude. I'm sorry. It's like, well, you think every day because it's fight day, I'm going to be in perfect health. It just doesn't work that way. And you're looking and go, I think Pyfer learned a great lesson when he fought Hermanson, but he's a guy that people need to look out for. He is physically strong. He's got power in his hands, and he's a tough dude. And I think that this is a fight matchup wise. I could be wrong in saying that Abus could have the technical skill to give Pyfer problems in the stand-up. I just don't see it happening. I see Pyfer walking him down and really putting big shots on him.
Yeah. Dustin Stoltzfus, he beat by elbows in the Dana White Contender Series. Then he rattled off like 5-6 wins. Austin Trotman, Osman Diaz, Alan Amadovsky, and then Gerald Mershar, and then Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Then he loses to Jack Hermanson. That was like his first big test.
Yeah.
He ends up losing to Jack Hermanson, comes back and beats by KO. He beats Marc-Andre Barrio. Then he beats Kelvin Gastelum. John, out of all these fights, when you start going from his Dana White Contender Series, TKO, KO, TKO, 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 and then an arm triangle, and then it goes, he loses by decision to Jack Hermanson. He just got tired in that fight. First big time fight, a lot of pressure put on him. Then Marc-Andre Barrio, TKO, and then Kelvin Gastelum, decision. It was good for him to get those rounds with Kelvin Gastelum. Good for him to understand, like, look, I can go ahead and I can fight hard for these rounds. It's good for him to do this because that time can't look. It's great to win by KO. It's great to win by TKO. It's great to win by submission. It's great to finish the fight early. But if you have that punching power and you have the ability to finish people early, you sometimes forget what it's like to actually go rounds 2, 3, and if it is a title fight or a main event, to go 4 and 5. You have to fight at a different pace. You've got to learn to control yourself. You got to learn to know when to chase the knockout, when not to. And I think in the Jack Hermanson fight, because he had Hermanson hurt in that first round, after that, he was never the same. He just got tired. And I think he learned a lot from that fight. So this is a big step up in competition for him with Abus. I think I put him right there with the Jack Hermanson style fight, but I put it right up there. It's a 3-round fight. He just got to be careful himself not to get caught in that first round, because Abus got good kicks, very long, fights long, like he tries to stay on the outside.
He does.
Long boxing, long striking. He's explosive. Things come from different angles. So it's going to be one of those fights where you got to pay attention to does Joe Pyfer end up leaving himself extended too much and getting caught coming in, because he comes aggressive.
Yeah.
He's someone that will just let it all hang out. When he touches you a little bit and he feels like there's blood, he's like, I'm coming to finish. And so
He does.
It's a fun fight. It's a fun fight, I think, to watch, especially since both of them had a little bit of cardio issues in their career. Will this be the difference maker? Which one of them will have more cardio after they've tried to knock each other out?
Could be.
Could be.
We're gonna see which one happens, but I really look at this as a good stand-up fight. Is it the skill set and the technical fighter, or is it the guy that just walks forward and throws huge punches?
Yeah. Hey John, let's go through the prelims, because you got Ateba Abega Gautier, and then you got
Gautier.
and then you got Edmund Shabazian, Andre Muniz, like you've got Chris Gutierrez and Basharat. Which one of these fights, or any of these fights on the prelims? Give me a handful of these fights that you really like. Tell me which ones you like.
I can't say I like the fight, because I have seen Tristan Vines once in LFA. He's a good fighter. This is his debut fight in the UFC, and he's fighting a monster in Gautier.
Yeah.
Gautier is he's one of those guys when you're watching, you go, look out. He's athletic. He's young. I mean, I honestly, I think he's 22, 23 years of age.
Jeez.
Josh. I mean, this guy he's already got wins in the UFC. He's looked good. He is, they call him the silent assassin, and man, he is, because he just goes about knocking people out. He's got no submission wins. Mm-hmm. He's got the one loss I know that happened
by a split decision also.
Yeah, it was. But, I don't know what happened in that fight, and I never saw it, but, he's reeled off, a good 7 wins since. Mm-hmm. And so, look, he's that young that he's got a lot to learn still.
Which last name did you say?
Gautier.
Yeah, he's got since his loss, TKO, KO by head kick, TKO by punches, TKO by punches, KO by punches and knee, TKO by punches.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah. Every fight, I think his first fight was a decision. His second one was a decision, like you said, split decision loss. And every fight he's finished since then. That's impressive.
Yep. John, I watched his opponent on some videos, because I didn't know that I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
I looked him up and I was like, yeah, this doesn't look good for him.
No.
If I'm taking just strictly off of the highlights that I've seen from both fighters, the experience that I've seen from Gautier, like in terms of how he finishes people. Also, too, when he gets people in trouble, he doesn't just run after them and try and like barrage them. He actually looks to hold and control and land the strikes properly. He's very good at keeping his distance. He's good at fighting you long. He's also good at mixing it up.
He's also fast.
He's fast. You can tell he's got power, because when he touches you with the jab, he's knocking you backwards.
Yep.
I'm like, oof. So that's not a good fight for Vines. Not a good fight for him at all. And it's a rough go. Look, you can tell if you're putting you as the main event on the prelims and it's my first fight in, they're looking to either make an example out of you or trying to build you. Yeah. In this case, I don't think they're trying to build you, buddy. And I feel bad for him. This is a moment for him to shine. And it's like, damn, I got this guy. The gauntlet, the Gautier gauntlet is what we're going to call him.
I'll tell you.
Edmund Shabazian versus Andre Muniz.
Good fight for Edmund Shabazian.
Yeah.
Muniz is really he's on one of those questionables, like, what am I doing? Where am I going? He came into the UFC, he was hot. I mean, super hot. He was winning fights by breaking people. He broke, Jacare's arm. Mm-hmm. He had the fight with Eric Anders where he got the armbar right away. And then a couple of fights in here, he's had some problems. He had the Brendan Allen fight, the Paul Craig fight, and then the Ikram Askarov fight. He just, Askarov just ran through him. And so he's trying to get his confidence back, and right now I'm just saying that Edmund Shabazian is not a good person to get your confidence back against, because his confidence is now riding high. Yeah. Edmund's been in the same position as Muniz. He was hot, he was undefeated, and then all of a sudden, people kind of figured him out a little bit, and he started getting some losses. But in his last 4 fights or so, he's got 1 loss, I know, against Mershart, where he was winning that fight easily, and he got caught, in an arm triangle choke by Gerald, and Gerald has done that to a lot of people. It's just part of fighting, and he got a loss. But he's looked really good in his last fight was against Petrosky, and he looked great, just picking him apart. He had the fight with I want to say Budka. Budka, I think, was the fight. I can't think of his first name, but he had that fight. He looked great. He won that in the first round. So his confidence is now starting to climb, where I think Muniz is like in that shit. I can't lose again. I can't lose again, and that usually will start to hold someone back in their just being offensive and going after things because they're afraid of losing again. So right now, I look at Shabazian's in the good place. Muniz is not quite there.
Yeah. I know Chris Gutierrez and Farid Basharat is
great fight.
Well, you think it's going to be a good fight?
I think it is. I really do.
Give me the reasons why. Because I feel like Basharat right now is filling his groove. And I think this is kind of an easier fight for him against Gutierrez. Gutierrez is someone who's obviously he's tough as nails, comes forward, he can wrestle. He's got all the tools and attributes to go ahead and get this fight to the ground. But can he do it? And can he hold him down? That's the other thing.
Well, it's really the question when you look at it of Basharat. Most people look at as he's a takedown guy. He goes for submissions, but he's got good stand-up. Yeah. I don't think he has the better stand-up between him and Chris, and I think Chris's kicks are a big reason why. But Chris has to be careful with the kicks that he uses based upon Basharat trying to take him down. Basharat's undefeated. He's undefeated in the UFC, and look, he's had some good wins. He looked good against Damone Blackshear. He looked good against Victor Hugo, who's a good stand-up fighter. So he knows how to get his wins against stand-up guys. But I look at the experience of Chris Gutierrez. He can be a guy that can give someone, if Basharat's unable to get that first round takedown, which Chris is pretty decent at stopping, he's going to start to question himself, and that's where Chris just starts to take over. And so I think it's a great matchup. I think it's one of those, again, another one I look at and go, look, either guy can win this fight. I really don't look towards, hey, one guy's got a huge advantage. I know Basharat is undefeated, but if the right Chris Gutierrez comes in there, he's a handful for anyone.
Interesting. I was leaning more towards Basharat on this.
Yeah, I understand why.
Undefeated. I
understand why.
Okay, gotcha. You kind of threw me off. I was thinking you would lean more towards my direction because I'm normally right all the time.
I was leaning towards your direction, but I was trying to say that Gutierrez definitely, this is not a setup fight for Basharat as far as he's got his hands full.
Okay. Yo Song Yo versus Daniel Santos. John, this to me has fight of the night written all over it.
This is a good fight.
I mean,
Daniel Santos has proven already, in the UFC, he's good.
Yeah.
I mean, he is absolutely a tough young stud. And then when you look at Ju Sang Yu is, the full name, he's got one win in the UFC. He's only had the one fight, but it looked good. It wasn't a whole lot for you to go off of. It was like 30 seconds, one big shot, boom, the fight was over. And you look and you go, okay, I haven't seen, as you would say, I haven't seen enough sample size to really know exactly how good he is. I know the guy that he's fighting is that good.
Yeah.
And we'll see exactly if, I'm going to say this wrong. I think it's Ju Sang Yu. But I like the fact that he goes by Zombie Jr.
Well, the fight with Santos and Castaneda, like that was a fight where Santos was in trouble several times, got rocked. He was coming from behind, gets the win at the very end of the fight. I think it was the end of the second round or something like that. Yeah, end of the second round. He got dropped, I want to say, like 2 or 3 times. He was wobbled. He got hit with the head kick twice and got put on stilts both times. So I looked at, he's very hittable.
Oh, yeah.
And he's very hittable. He almost feels like he relies on his chin too much to just put pressure and take shots. He's got to move his head offline. I think he's going to be the smaller fighter in this between the two of them because Ju looked huge in comparison to him. Like you said, not a big enough sample size for me to say too much, but I also feel like both of them like to stand. Both of them like to trade. There's going to be some good exchanges. Someone's potentially going to get knocked out, but I'm thinking it has that it could either be fight of the night or so it could be a knockout of the night, a performance of the night bonus for one of them. Yeah. So that fight, and then if we scroll on down, Give me some other ones here. You got Macy Chiasson versus Yana Santos, Patchy Mix.
Patchy Mix going up against a stud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looking like, geez, I'm sorry. Boom, I apologize.
At least tell us who it is.
Jaron Villel.
Patchy Mix versus Jacob Wicklax. This really two grapplers.
It is, but yeah, they go about it differently. You know, when you take a look at the way that Jacob goes about, he is a wrestling based guy who's got very technical wrestling. It's like he could go out on a mat right now with an NC2A wrestler and wrestle. Patchy's not that kind of wrestler. Patchy is more of a good wrestler, but with a jiu-jitsu style. And I look at this, and I'm not sure that Jacob is going to be wanting to go to the ground in his normal way with Patchy. I think his coaches are going to be smart to say, you know what, we want to use our wrestling to keep it on the feet. He's going to take the blueprint of Mario Batista and say, hey, let's take a look at this guy looking at Patchy Mix in this fight. Here's when people go to the ground with him. And let's take a look at the man who uses his wrestling to keep it as a stand-up fight and be on the feet with him. And I think that's exactly what the coaches are going to say for Wicklax. And it's the right game plan if you're asking me. Patchy has got to prove that he's gotten past that performance with Batista, and he knows what to do, how to deal with it. If it hits the ground, I got to go with Patchy Mix. I just know how good he is down there. And like everything, and people sometimes don't get it, there's fucking levels to this. And just because, you know, you're considered a good grappler doesn't mean that you can go with a great grappler. There's just a fucking difference. You know, as simple as it is, take a look at DDP and Khamzat Chimaev. Take a look at that fight. You know, Joe Rogan has come out saying, you know, something about, you know, look, DDP will never beat, you know, a guy like Khamzat. And I think he's right in the fact that, look, there's too much to make up with too little time left in your career as far as the level of difference between your wrestling abilities. You couldn't stop anything that he was coming at you with. Where, you know, on the ground, I truly believe Patchy's got a huge advantage in this fight. But in getting it to the ground, I'm not too sure that he's the stronger fighter.
Yeah, no, I would agree. On the ground, I don't think he really wants to mess with that position, especially after taking the blueprint from Batista. Like, hey, all I got to do is stay on the outside, utilize my wrestling to keep it on the feet, and see if I can outstrike him. I don't think he's as clean of a striker as Batista.
No,
but I mean, he's got that dog in him a little bit. It's going to be a tough fight for Patchy. I'm looking forward to seeing if this fight does hit the ground. I use this analogy all the time, like two ferrets getting after it. It's really going to kind of be one of those exchanges. How will Patchy be able to get to the back? Will Wicklax be able to defend? Will Wicklax be able to jump on the army guillotine or the guillotines any time that they get into these mixes? We have seen Patchy sometimes not take advantage, but just almost feel like he's too good to be submitted and would
not respect.
Yeah, he didn't show any respect to James Gallagher.
Yeah.
He's like, man, that arm and guillotine he tried to hit on me was a little bit tight. I had to wiggle my way out of there. And that's what happens when you feel like you're so good, you sometimes take it for granted. That's what I was looking at.
That's true.
He took it for granted. They're like, oh, you guys can't catch me. And then he even said in the post-fight, oh, he's better than I thought he was. Yeah. Those are moments when you fight someone like Wicklax. He could be one of those I got you kind of fighters where you didn't think I was this good when we hit the ground, but I showed you. I just caught you in the scramble and something that I'm used to doing. That's the other thing. Just because both of you guys are at a high level, somebody has that little thing in their back pocket that they usually hit. And sometimes you run right into that and you get caught. So he's got to be careful. Like these guys all have little tricks up their sleeves that they works on the guys that they train with every day, which means that it will work on you because you haven't trained with them every day. You don't know it's coming.
You don't know how they do it.
Even his partners that he trains with every day knows it's coming and they can't stop it. So those are things that guys like Patchy and even Wicklax, they got to be careful with in the exchange. Is he like kind of coaxing me or like goading me into doing this? And because if I go that way, I feel like I might be getting caught in something. Both of these guys are tricky on the ground. I'm going to lean towards Patchy in terms of his ability on the ground, but he's got to get it there first, like we saw in his last fight with Batista. He needs to get it there.
Exactly
John, you got Soriano versus Veretennikov.
Look, this is I first off, I think Wanderlei has looked fantastic at 170 pounds. We all know, look, he's got power. He's got big time power in his hands. Veretennikov he's a good, solid fighter everywhere. He likes to plant his feet and throw with his opponents. Probably not the best opponent to do that with. You know, punch for punch, you're probably not going to come out, you know, in the first place. But, you know, Veretennikov has proven he's a tough individual and he can fight with anyone. But I look at Wanderlei, just the way he has been going at 170 pounds. This is the right weight class for him. At middleweight, he was just too small, but now he's got it together at welterweight, and I think this will be a good fight for him to prove that, you know what, he's someone to be contended with as a welterweight.
Speaking of guys dropping from 185 to 170, you got Austin Vanderford also making fought his first fight at 170. Now he's at I think it was a catch weight, actually, the first fight, wasn't it?
I think it might have been.
I think it was 175. But I think this fight, obviously being at welterweight, they brought him on. He had a great performance his last fight, and now he's back against Brahimaj. Like, this is a very tough fight. Both guys are really good on the ground. Brahimaj is very good at the arm and guillotine if you leave your head in the wrong spot. He's good at just hitting the chokes. He's got a lot of finishes with the guillotine, but he's also got good wrestling himself. But he's very comfortable on the feet. He's good at stuffing the takedowns, letting the hands go on the feet. And I think Vanderford's got his hands full in this fight. I'm surprised, though, they put him so far down on the card, given his last performance.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great come-out performance. If you're going to take a look at it, a lot of people did not expect him to win that fight based upon, you know, he was fighting Veretennikov, who's on the card with him. And Veretennikov had been in the UFC. He was a last-minute replacement. He took the fight, you know, short notice. But, man, he came out and he proved exactly how good he can be when he wants to be. And it's the whole thing with Austin is, you know, is Austin's head in the game? Because when it comes to his wrestling, he's a tenacious wrestler. He's got good submissions. He's a good pressure-based fighter. If he's able to bring pressure on you, he's going to do well in the fight. You know, where he cannot be caught is in the situations where he's on the outside and just trying to stand up with somebody and throw shots. That's not going to be Austin Vanderford's fight. But if he can utilize his stand-up to get him to the ground and be in the top position, you don't want to be underneath Austin Vanderford. He is a hellacious, mauling bitch on the ground. You know, he is that good and that dominating. So I look at this as a really good fight. You know, like you said, Brahimaj is good. He's had some good fights in the UFC. He's had some losses in the UFC. But I look at his wrestling, I don't think it is as good as Austin Vanderford.
No.
And so I think that the place that Austin really has the advantage of is get the fight to the ground and put pressure on him and wear him down. That's your road to victory.
I think at 170, this is a perfect weight class for him. It was almost like he never wanted to take it serious enough to get to 170 when he was fighting Bellator. He's like, look, I feel way more comfortable at 185. I'm doing everything I want to do. I'm eating what I want to eat, and I can train as hard as I want because I've got enough energy. I don't have to worry about cutting the weight. He said time to prepare for this fight, 170. That last 5 pounds, because I believe the last fight was 175.
Yeah.
He's down to 170. This is a perfect matchup. I think stylistically, it's tough because they want to see if he can wrestle, get the takedown, still have ground and pound, and do damage from the top position against Brahimaj. But I think Brahimaj has also got a couple little things, little tricks up his sleeves that he can do to try to neutralize Austin Vanderford. I think Austin's mind's in the right spot right now.
Yeah.
I think, look, anytime you get the call, John, from, you know, whether it's Bellator, PFL, and you're like, hey, you're leaving that organization and you're coming up to the UFC, the mindset changes. We've seen it multiple times. Robbie Lawler was, kind of left the UFC, went to Pride, and then he went to Strikeforce. Then he fought, I believe he fought in Elite XC, didn't he?
Elite XC, yeah.
Elite XC, and then he came over when Elite XC went away. He came to Strikeforce.
Yep.
As soon as he went back to the UFC, it was like, we don't really like you at 185. We want to bring you to 170. went back down to 170. Did you see the mindset and the way
became a world champion?
Became a world champion. Like, just something happens when you step inside there. Yeah. And it's the mindset of like, I need to bring my A game every single day. This is no longer just fun. This is a serious sport and a serious job that I need to
business
push. Yes, I need to push myself to be the best.
Yep.
We saw it with a lot of guys. I believe that Austin Vanderford's on that same track right now.
I agree.
So good for him. John, that's going to wrap up our UFC 320 talk. Guys, if you guys are coming late, I wanted to let you guys know this is going to be John's last show. John will be back several times. He'll be back to visit, obviously. I got him on speed dial. But those of you guys that have questions for him, I know some of you guys left some super chats in the mix, and Dave has saved them. We're going to go ahead and answer some of those now, and then we're going to go ahead and get into some news. But I want to get a couple of the super chats in there right now. But I wanted to let you guys know that, yeah. John, if you guys missed it, John will be going back to reffing. He'll be doing some reffing and some judging. He'll be doing both those things in the sport of MMA and the sport of boxing, the sport of bare knuckle, and he kind of got the itch. And I brought it up for him maybe doing the White House card, and next thing you know, a couple days later, he's like, hey, I'm going to go back to reffing. And, when you do that, you really can't have a show where you talk about why the refs fucked up.
Yeah. You can talk about why I fucked up.
Yeah, but I think this is a good opportunity for all you guys to to realize that we've been blessed enough to have you on the show for 6 years, and I'm thankful for you. And our friendships are always obviously we'll still continue to be friends like we are now and
forever.
But just so you guys know, this doesn't mean that John's leaving forever ever. He will definitely be back quite a bit throughout. And this is a very tough decision, very difficult for me. I get a little emotional talking about it, but let's go ahead and talk about some super chats you guys have. You guys had some questions for John?
Yes. Here, I'll take it away for you. First question is from Alejandro Gutierrez. Josh, let me know and I'll connect you with the Imagineering team at Disney to take you backstage to the Underground City. It's breathtaking.
All right.
Damn.
Okay. Alejandro Gutierrez, I want to thank you for that. Is that Disneyland or Disney World?
Josh, you can't ask questions in response to super chat.
Sorry.
Alejandro Gutierrez also asks, he
awesome.
says, don't leave, John. Dave will wear subtitles so you can understand him. Best of luck to one of the godfathers of MMA.
Thank you very much, Alejandro. I do appreciate it.
Sci-fi writer says, John, reason you talk of fighters as good, rarely great? ? That's the question. I read it verbatim.
I'm kind of lost on that. I'm sorry. The reason
John, reason you talk of fighters as good, really great. Like maybe like what's the reason you say a fighter's good but really great? I don't know. Like I
don't know.
Who wrote that question?
That was
hey, sci-fi writer, if you're still there, go ahead and rewrite something cleaner in the comments and I'll get it on there. All right.
Yeah.
Black Ghost 93, Big John, any street fight stories?
Oh my God. Too many. I mean, I'm not proud of any of them either now. At my age, I look at everything I did when I was younger and I was a fucking idiot. No. Here, I'll give you. Let's see. Here's my wife's first time she ever saw me fight. This is hysterical because it was. Did you ever know what Malibu Grand Prix was, Josh?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it was the race cars and racetracks. I used to be a manager at one before I was on LAPD. And I was young and just got married and I was a manager at a Malibu Grand Prix. And we had pool tables inside, and we would go and when we're closing down, we'd sit there and say, "Hey, don't put any more because there's tokens that you put into the pool things, and don't put any more in there because we're closing." Right? And most times it's no problem. And I was the manager, so I had to go in the back and count all the money and do all this stuff. And all of a sudden, my little girl up at the front calls me and says, "Hey, they just put money back in there playing another game of pool." So I go out and I said, "Hey, you were told that it's we're closed. I'll let you play out this game. Don't put any more money in." She called. I go in the back. Boom. They put another thing in. Right. So now I got to go out there and it's like, all right. So I just take and I put money down on the pool table, but I'm smart enough to at least take the pool cues, and snatch them, and put them off to the side and say, hey, there's your money. You know, it's time to leave. And they, you know, they started in. Well, at this time, I am like, I've been told by a guy named Mike Hillman, who is a deputy chief on LAPD, that, hey, your academy class is being picked. Don't fuck up. Don't do anything stupid. Don't get into any trouble, right? And I'm like, okay. Right. And so these guys start in, and one of them was close to my size. I was probably about 275 at the time. And one's my size and one's about 215. And they start, you know, what's your fucking problem? You got a fucking problem. And I said, I don't have the problem. I said, we're closed. You need to leave. Right? Fuck you. I'm not leaving. You know, you've got a fucking problem. I said, look, you either leave or I'll get, you know, it was at Fountain Valley was where the store was at. I said, I'll get Fountain Valley, you know, to come escort you out. I don't care. Right. And so, you know, the little girl's on, she's on the phone. She's got the police. Right? So I walk behind the counter, and now my wife is out because she's come from the back office. And, you know, I'm on the phone with the Fountain Valley police, and they you know, the girl sitting there saying, she says, you know, I'm surprised I got two guys, you know, is that them yelling? Yes, that's them yelling, right? And she says, okay, well, we got people on the way. Okay. And the big guy is standing there, and you got a fucking problem. And he spit on me. Right. And that was it. I said, I got the phone. I go, that's it. I don't care. Over the counter, I hit that son of a bitch fucking full. He goes down. The video games are all there. They go down. Right. They got a magazine rack. It goes down. And then the other guy he comes and I grab him, whap, and they got him down on the ground. And I kept on saying, who's got the fucking problem now? Right. And I put him up. Well, now I look, I got fucking video games down. I got magazine racks down, and I got two guys bleeding on the floor. They're both out. And so now I'm like, I fucking grab them, right? I gotta clean the floor. So I'm pulling them out of the store, right? Pull them out of the store. And just as I pull them out of the store, guess who shows up? Fountain Valley PD. Guess who's the one in trouble? And then, dude, I'm the one that called, right? I'm putting my hands behind my head, right? And so that was the first time my wife ever saw me fight. And she goes, her big thing was, she goes, why did they fall down? Right? I go, excuse me? Right? She goes, well, I mean, you hit them, but they went down. They're supposed to get back up. Right? And I go, that's not the way this works, right?
No,
so
that's not the way
she was not impressed, right?
Oh man,
right? Two guys, nope, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Not impressed. I expected them to get up and hit you back. So there's one of the stupid street fights I had.
First off, anybody, you deserve to get your fucking ass beat.
Oh yes, that's one of that's it. It's all.
Yeah. No. That's what happened to me. And remember, were you there with us in the UK?
Oh yeah,
I think you were there. Yeah, and that guy spit at me, and I was like,
oh no,
yeah.
That's you asking to have your ass beat.
Oh, fucking done.
Yeah.
It was. I was sitting there getting a drink, and it was hilarious. And Paul Daly's like, "Oh, bro, you guys are messing around with the wrong guy." Paul grabbed me. It's like, "No, he's with me. You guys beat it." And they're like, "Okay," they left me alone. But yeah, I was like, they were trying to call the cops and everything. I was like, "Damn." What else you got for us, Dave?
Alejandro Gutierrez, odds of Botan becoming the first 3-division champ.
I don't think it's going to happen, man. I think that Tom Aspinall is the guy that he's got the wrestling, the grappling. He's got punchy power. I mean, he's coming into his own.
Tom Aspinall, and people need to understand this about Tom Aspinall. It's rare that you find an athlete in the heavyweight division that's got speed, that is good on the feet with power and can wrestle and has a ground game.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Aspinall is the real deal. He's not like and it's the one thing that makes the heavyweights. In some ways, you look and you go, it's, you know, if John Jones comes back, it's different. But Tom Aspinall is in a league by himself right now.
Yeah,
you know, the same as, like, you know, and Cain Velasquez, I will always say, was probably the best heavyweight fighter that the UFC actually ever had. It's just that injuries took him away from the sport.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have the career that he could have based upon those injuries. But, you know, he was special in the fact that, look, Cain Velasquez could wrestle. He had a gas tank. he freaking was good in the stand-up. His stand-up was good, and Tom Aspinall has all that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and toot my boy's own horn because he's.
Oh, you can go ahead. I'll give you the moment.
Like Cain Velasquez, I got to be honest, man. Like I'd seen him do things to people that were in the top 10, just walked right through them in practice, training. I mean, from everyone, from Paul Bonatello, Mike Kyle, Daniel Cormier, LeVar Johnson, all these guys. I mean, we had guys that came in, Sergey Pavlovich, Volkov. They all trained at our gym. None of them wanted to come back. They came because they wanted to train with Cain.
None of them wanted to come back.
They didn't like the 2 rounds that they were able to give him because they couldn't do anything to him. Like they couldn't do anything to him. He would take them down at will. He was forced to stand with them because Javier would say, no, stand with them because taking them down doesn't do anything. Like you're not learning anything by taking them down and just controlling them and dominating them, beating them up. They had no answer for him. He could stand with them. He could grapple with them. He could ground and pound them. Like he was literally, there was moments where he would just stand over them and be like, get up. And they were like, like they didn't know what to do. They didn't know, like they thought it was like he was trying to trap him into getting back up to his feet. Like, why do you want me to get back up?
If I get up, are you going to hit me again?
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna hit you again. And it got to that point. Yeah. He was extremely talented. All the things. I don't think there's ever been a better heavyweight. Is well-rounded. And people forget he came in after Arizona State. He came in. He had no striking.
Yeah.
What he had was a mindset to get better. That's all he had. Like, I'll give you guys an example. He had broke his hand and it just kept kind of like the bones didn't really heal because he kept doing stuff. He kept running. The vibration, I guess, apparently wasn't letting the bone heal properly. So the coach just told him or they were something had to happen anyways. And Javier just had him basically doing kicks because he couldn't punch anything. So he was doing kicks between these 2 heavy bags. He had to do 1,000 every day at practice. 500 one side, 500 on the other leg. So he would just basically step side to side doing kicks. And if you guys notice, when he came back, he started kicking a lot.
He could really kick.
He really kick. He was throwing head kicks. He was doing foot sweeps. He's doing calf kicks. He was doing everything. Inside, outside kicks. I mean, he was goofing around and like doing little jump kicks. He was just out there having a blast, man. Yeah. He got so good. Tom Aspinall is that guy that I think he has the potential to be as good as Cain Velasquez. I don't think he has the wrestling of Cain. I don't know if he has the mindset of when he gets in trouble, will he be able to work through it? Like when Cain Velasquez got dropped 3 times against Czech Congo, and had to fight his way through that and then come back and dominate the fight. That lets you know when you watch him when he fought Junior Dos Santos the second time, like that fight where he got rocked a couple of times, got hurt. He just kept coming forward. There was no way he was going to be denied. And to look at fights like that he had, man, they're special. They're special when you have a heavyweight that has that type of talent, that type of ability, that mindset. I mean, I think I look at guys like Tom. He has the ability to be there. I just haven't seen a big enough sample size, John.
Okay.
What else, Dave?
Sci-fi writer. I feel stupid if wrong. Only great I heard was Clay Guida.
Oh, Guida. I don't know.
All right.
Clay Guida is one of the greats though too. He's been in the sport a long time. He did it at a very high level. You got to give that guy his due. So
let's hop into PFL. First note we have on here, the news report is Artem Lobov's off the card, so just wanted to throw that out before you guys hop into it.
He got hurt in training the week of.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah. Like it's the week of. There's you're not going to get in any better shape. You're not going to grappling should be just fun. All your partners should be padded up.
The only thing I can think of, he got hurt earlier and he kept on trying to train and make the injury go away. And it's just sometimes when you're training, they're not going to go away.
I guess.
I don't know.
Let's go ahead and talk. The rematch has been talked about. The only rematch that's been talked about in the PFL that everyone's buzzing about. You got Usman Nurmagomedov versus Paul Hughes. John, I want to preface this by saying the first fight, it was a good fight.
It was a great fight.
It wasn't as close as people made it out to be.
No.
It was a pretty clear-cut fight.
The fact that people were saying, Paul Hughes got robbed. It's like, stop. If Paul Hughes had won that fight, there would have been a robbery.
Hmm.
That's just flat out the way it is.
But that being said, he is the only person that's ever done what
he's the only person that's ever pushed Usman Nurmagomedov to that point. And I'm being honest. Look, if this was a 7-round fight, he might have won it. Okay, based upon he was coming on, and Usman was starting to have some problems. You could see he was getting tired. He was starting to lag behind in the fight, which is only something that'll lead to confidence for Paul Hughes. But Usman knows what was going on inside, and I believe that he's done all the things that he needs to do to take care of any lack of judgment or lack of training or anything that possibly went into that first fight. He knows who he's up against. He knows what he's up against. He knows the level of the person, and I think he now has respect for him. I think Paul Hughes gained respect in that first fight. He did put on a hell of a fight, but it was clear that Usman Nurmagomedov won the fight. Will he win this fight? Well, who the hell knows? That's why you fight the fight. Yeah. But he is at this point still undefeated as a fighter. Paul Hughes is 14-2 as a fighter. But Paul Hughes has proven, without a doubt, we talk about sample size. I've gotten enough sample size to know that Paul Hughes is the real deal. Paul Hughes is, I'm going to say, probably the best fighter coming out of Ireland right now. He is ballsy as far as he's not afraid of anything. The kid can wrestle, and I'm shocked by his level of wrestling. Okay, he can hit like a truck. He's got hands. He's dirty. He's nasty. Just he will absolutely rock the edge of legality to get to where he needs to go. Everything about him tells me the kid's a winner. He is just at this point in who he's fighting. Look, he's fighting one of the top of the food chains. Usman is that good. Usman is good everywhere. He's got great stand-up. His kicks are fucking phenomenal. His wrestling is damn good. His submission game is good. This is a guy that he's got it all. He's got speed. He's got athleticism. He's got a gas tank. And Paul Hughes has got to do something to affect all of those things to get the win. Can he do it? He proved in his first fight he has the ability to get that done. I just don't know if he will.
Yeah, what I saw in the first fight was that Paul Hughes is very good at catching the kicks and throwing off the rhythm and countering with him after he catches his countering with his strikes. Yep. He's fantastic at that. I think to myself, like he did that with AJ McKee, and then he did it with Usman Nurmagomedov. And the other thing is that even though he hasn't fought since their fight, and Paul Hughes has only had one fight since their fight. But that one fight has kept him in training camp. That one fight has also kept him probably a little bit more sharper. Now, don't get me wrong. Usman's fighting with the best guys and training with the best guys every single day. You got Islam, you got Umar, you've got all the other, Habib fighters that are there. He's got guys that train with that can do everything that Paul Hughes can do.
Yep.
But when you get in there with someone like Paul Hughes, like you said, you said dirty, like isn't grimy. He's like not dirty, isn't a cheater.
Yeah. No.
He's just someone that he can kind of get into a dog fight in a small little phone booth
and he enjoys it
and make it a fight. Yeah. You can tell that nothing fazed him when he came out and fought Usman. I was like, man, this he's good, but he's got so many holes in his game. Usman's going to run away with this. And you could tell his confidence in his ability to catch kicks, stop kicks, counter off the kicks, and then stuff the wrestling. That was huge for him. Huge for him. He was able to stop so many takedowns that it made Usman tired. Usman in this game, he's going to have to get takedowns a little bit differently. Maybe not shooting the single legs or the double legs as much. Maybe getting more into the body locks and trying to lift and scoop. Use your height to your advantage. Usman's probably 5'11", 6 foot. Trying to get to that body lock, lifting and scooping, and trying to sit him, mat returns, all of those kind of things. Leg riding, trying to get in heavy on the neck, working the submissions. It's going to be a dog fight for 5 rounds. And Paul Hughes, I think, right from the jump is going to be trying to press that pace, knowing that, hey, Usman got tired in the first fight. I just got to get him right back there and don't take any big shots in the process. So Usman's got his work cut out for him. This is a very tough fight. Obviously, I'm leaning towards Usman, just because we're just all feel like we're all brothers. We're all related. So it's one of those things. But Paul definitely surprised me. He definitely surprised me in the first fight. He's a lot better fighter than I gave him credit for, and I'm looking forward to seeing this rematch, man. It's a huge rematch, huge fight. So I'm looking forward to seeing that fight. Yeah. In the co-main event, you've got Corey Anderson versus Yagshimuradov. This is a rematch as well.
This is a rematch.
Yes.
This happened in Bellator during the light heavyweight tourney that Corey Anderson ended up being in the finals against Dovlet Yagshimuradov. He's been looking great in the PFL. He's a good fighter. He's fun to watch. I've enjoyed him since I reffed him when he was at ACB, and he was the champion there. And he's just a very fluid, and he's got a lot of spinning attacks. He's fun to watch. He can wrestle, but he can't wrestle with Corey Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be flat out honest with it. If you go back and you watch their first fight, it was a matter of once Corey was able to figure out the movement of Yagshimuradov and how to stop the movement, close in on him, get him into the clinch, and get him to the ground. At that point, you could see the levels switch as far as Corey was completely in control. And I think at this point in his career, Corey will still be in control. I mean, it's getting to the point, you could say, well, it could be shifting a little bit. I don't think Corey has dropped off. I do think that Dovlet has gotten better. Yagshimuradov has definitely gotten better since we first saw him. Yeah. But this fight's going to end up on the ground. And when it does, that's where you'll see Corey Anderson taking over. If it doesn't, Yagshimuradov has a good chance of walking away as the winner of the fight. Not that Corey can't be in the stand-up with him. He can. But that would tell me that Corey's not fighting the right fight for his style versus Yagshimuradov. So
yeah,
I look for Corey Anderson to get the win in this fight, but it's going to be a good fight.
Yagshimuradov I feel like he has gotten better since the first fight. He's a little more confident. The movement he has still good movement, but he also sits down the punches a little bit more, so he's landing them a little bit cleaner and harder. He does mix up his kicks really well with his boxing. He's good at takedown defense. He's got to stay off of his back. That's for sure.
Yeah.
In this fight, he can't afford for Corey Anderson to be on top, landing those fucking elbows on him. He's got to make sure that he's keeping his back off the fence and his back off the ground. It's a tough task for him, but like Corey though too, fighting at heavyweight and then coming back down to 205. I don't think he really tried to put any extra weight on to go to heavyweight.
No.
He just thinks he showed up, and I thought he looked good at heavyweight.
He did.
I thought he looked good.
But Corey's a fighter, man. You could look and say Corey has proven himself to be one of the best light heavyweight fighters in the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's been fantastic. He's that good. He just doesn't get he didn't get the pop that he actually deserved when he was in the UFC. People
they could really use him right now.
Boy, they could, couldn't they? Because he won the tough. He won the Ultimate Fighter show, and then he was doing great, when he was fighting his style, and then people started getting on him about he's got to be more exciting, and so he ended up trying to be more of a stand-up fighter, and it took away from where he was really great.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gotten back to being that guy, and when his ground and pound, there's not a whole lot of guys that have a tougher ground and pound than Corey Anderson.
Yeah. And that's still going to be a great fight. That's next fight, JJ Wilson versus Archie Colgan. Huge fight. Great matchup. John, what? JJ Wilson's 11-1, I believe. Yep. And then Archie Colgan is 12-0. Big time fight for both of them.
Dude, this is a great fight. Archie Colgan is still undefeated, 12-0. He's looked great. He can wrestle his ass off. But JJ Wilson is a dynamic fighter. And he's gotten way better. We watched him since he was, brand new. Mm-hmm. And he got way better in the stand-up. His ground game was always dynamic. He came from a jiu-jitsu background, and he's just good on the ground. He's fluid. He transitions well, but his stand-up has gotten so much better. And that's the real question here. Archie likes to be in the stand-up. He's a good wrestler, and he's got great wrestling ability, but he likes to be in the stand-up and throw his hands. But does he want to be in the stand-up, or does he want to be on the ground He's the one that I think is going to sign. I don't think that JJ has the wrestling ability to take Archie down off of a wrestling takedown. He can do it off of hurting him with a punch and put him down. But other than that, he's not going to just get Archie Colgan to the ground. Archie's the one that's going to determine, I want to be in the stand-up this fight, or no, I'm going to take you to the ground and I'm going to put some hurt on you down here. But if he goes to the ground, he does have to be very careful because JJ has got a very good submission game where he goes after submissions. He doesn't just, sit there and put someone in the guard and try to hold on. He goes after you.
Yeah. I think Archie's going to dictate where this fight plays out. And I honestly believe he's going to try to keep it on the feet. He doesn't. I don't think he wants to get the takedown. I don't think he wants to be put in submission positions, whether it's the triangles, arm bars, kimuras, any of those things. Yep. I think he's comfortable on the feet. He can threaten the takedowns enough to get the takedown, dominate the top, and then stay out and then bounce back out whenever he needs.
I agree with you.
Thing on the feet, I think. Yeah. He's got big power in his hands as well. He's comfortable defensively. He's a very good striker. He's come a long way.
Yep.
Jack Cartwright versus Colin Lohan.
This fight, it's a good fight. Lockran.
I don't know. I just free. I don't know either one of these guys.
Yeah, Lockran is good. Jack is good. It's one of those. Cartwright comes from Wales, and he's been in Cage Warriors as well. I've seen him in Cage Warriors. He's a good, dynamic, hard hitting fighter, but he's got a great submission game. Mm-hmm. He goes after submissions in a nasty way. I know that he tried out for the Dana White Contenders, and he lost that fight. But he's fun to watch, and it's the way that he goes after the submissions that makes him, as good as he is. He's really good at making it to where he transitions from one submission technique to another, and then just catches someone behind. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's going to be a fun fight.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know either guy though, so I'm going to take your word for it. But I know this fight was going to be a fun fight. You got Magomedov versus Sergio Pettis.
Oh, I know. Yeah, this one right here. This one is look at, I've known Magomed for a little over 10 years, and this, for a guy that doesn't look like he could fight, this guy is really good everywhere.
Yeah.
Magomed's he's got great stand up. He's very elusive. He's got great spinning attacks, same as Sergio does. The real difference in this fight is, both of their stand-ups are outstanding. Yeah. I think Sergio's might be a little bit cleaner overall, but it's the ground and the wrestling is going to be the difference maker in this one.
Yes. Sergio's got the cleaner striking for sure, the spinning attacks, the boxing, the kickboxing, mixing it up, very calm and composed. Magomedov is very just spastic. A little bit of all over the place, but it all helps him get into his wrestling. So there's a method to his madness. Like he throws spinning attacks, he throws a lot of wild striking, but to get you to flinch and back away to kind of lift your guard, and then he enters in on the wrestling. He's got a very fast double leg, single leg attack, and that works his transition right into getting to the ground.
And he's got a great guillotine.
Yeah.
Got a really good guillotine.
Got a good arm, Darce and Anaconda. He's good at hitting those as well, but he's good all the way around. The guy's he's got a win over Peter Yan. He's got a loss to Peter Yan. He's got some big time wins. He's got some losses as well, but he's not afraid to fight anyone. He fights everyone. Extremely difficult, very hard fighter to fight.
For a while, he was Peter Yan's only loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Because I went and did their second fight in Russia, and that's when I saw both of them, and I was like, holy shit, these little son of bitches can fight.
John, anything on here else you want to talk about?
No, I think we're good.
We're good. Dave, what else you got? If you got some news for us, please.
Yeah, let's hop into this first one here. Dustin Poirier putting out that he will return for one fight and one fight only, and it's Nate Diaz in boxing.
God damn, Nate Diaz has got everyone wanting to fight him. That's just hysterical. Why you want to fight Nate? Nate's a good guy.
He's a nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
You know he's a good. That's what it's funny is everyone thinks that he's like this guy. He's the nice guy, man.
Dude, he's funny.
Yeah, I don't see anything I don't know. I don't have anything bad to say about him at all. He's just a guy. He seems like a really nice guy.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. This is a fight that I would love to see though.
Yeah.
I would love to see this fight. Boxing, 12 rounds.
Neither one wants to go 12 rounds.
He says he did like 12 rounds.
Guess what?
Yeah.
He says it till the 8th round is over, and he goes, "Holy shit! I got 4 more rounds to go. I'm in trouble."
If you're Dustin Poirier's wife, though, you're like, man, I thought we were done with this.
Oh no, Dustin Poirier. Right now, right at about this point, Dustin Poirier's wife is going, "Yeah, go do it.
Get
out of my house.
Get out of here." He's put his silly goose gym put together. I follow him on Instagram. It's fucking hilarious. He's got his gym put together. He's got this little silly goose like setup. You know, he's fixing the fence out, I think, out in front of their house, whatever it is. But she's probably going, man, you're driving me crazy at home. Get out, do something.
You need to go do something.
That's, it's got to be difficult, right, for the wives, because when they're fighting, you're at the gym 3 times a day. You're pretty much there all day. You're there from like 9 and 10 in the morning. Then you're there again at night. And pretty much
you pop in and out.
You're having lunch. You're in and out for events, whatever it is, right? So you're kind of popping in and out as you go throughout your life, right? But now you're there all the time. Like, what are we doing tomorrow? What are we doing the next day?
Yeah.
You're there all the time. So, yeah, definitely one of those. This was a fight, though, I'd love to see. In boxing, Zuffa Boxing, sign me up, man. Let's see it.
I agree.
Down. What else you got?
All right. Dana White signs a deal with Paramount for Zuffa Boxing.
Did we get any numbers on what it looked like?
Yeah, so beginning January 2026, Paramount will exclusively distribute a full slate of Zuffa Boxing events, starting with 12 action-packed cards, with plans to grow that number in subsequent years. The bouts will be available via Paramount's direct-to-consumer streaming platform, Paramount Plus. The potential for select events will be simulcast on CBS, America's leading broadcast network, and other Paramount platforms. Dana White commented, "I'm excited to bring great boxing events to a global audience. There are millions of boxing fans that will now be able to watch competitive fights with up-and-coming boxers, as well as the biggest stars in sport. Paramount will be the home for UFC and boxing fans to watch the greatest fights in combat sports." And then Turkey Ala Sheik says something as well, but pretty much same thing. Dana also made comments about the belts being the Zuffa having their own belt as well. But do you want to break it up and do 2 separate things, or?
Yeah, let's go ahead and just talk about them signing the deal for boxing. John, this is fantastic. Look, I like the fact that we can just look at one home, and now I can go for boxing and MMA in one platform. I think that was a big deal for them, for Paramount, but as well as for UFC and for TKO and for boxing and Turkey Al Sheik and everyone else that's involved in that platform. Why would I, as a subscriber to anything, want to have to pay for 15 other fucking platforms? Let me just pay for one and get all the combat sports I fucking want. It's
not only that. I mean, if people remember, and this is right now in the combat sports, especially in boxing, I want you to think about this. What happened to HBO? Gone. What happened to Showtime? Gone. What happened to ESPN with boxing? It's going away. Gone. You can take a look at all of these platforms. There's DAZN. Right now, that's it. Mm-hmm. And so, the world of boxing has really closed down as far as being on TV, and to just get this deal. Dana's done a lot, with Paramount, getting the deal for the UFC, getting this deal for Zuffa Boxing. It's saying a lot about how committed the CBS and Paramount are to putting on combat sports. And trust me, it's a great thing for combat sports fans, because everyone else has gone away from it. They really have.
Yeah, because we went into this fucking thing where it's the pussification of the America. Like a bunch of fucking pussies out there. That's really what happened, John. The whole country went woke, and we decided to get away from toxic masculinity, and we ended up in this position where
there's no such thing as toxic
That's what happened, John. That's why now that's why now there was no boxing being shown. People were trying to get away from the UFC, trying to basically they were trying to shut them down during the COVID situation, everything else. Like, let them, if people wanted to run the sport, they're doing it. This is a huge deal. I like the fact the problem with HBO and the problem with Showtime is they were both however much money, right? The Showtime platform was what, $10 a month. I think it was what it was, something like that. And then HBO was however much, whatever it was. There was always packages. You got it for free for 3 months, and they charged you whatever it was. Bottom line is, you're now all on one platform. You only got to pay for Paramount or Paramount Plus, whatever it is, and now you have it. You have access to TBS. You got access. That's what people want. I want to go one spot and watch everything I want to watch. That's it.
Yeah.
Now they're not going to be able to watch all the movies on Paramount, but guess what? They have a couple good series, and I'm comfortable with paying for those series, whatever the series are that they have on there. Paramount's got some good like TV series that I like to watch every once in a while, and then you've got, Netflix has their TV series. That's pretty much, I think, all everyone's watching right now. I mean, there's some big shows now every once in a while on Amazon, but like, is it worth paying for it? I think everyone does because now, but look, John, I was paying $300 a fucking month for Comcast. Now I'm paying like $90. I mean, it's like less than that probably. You got Netflix because I got the package that doesn't give me commercials. So I think it's like $30 or $28 or something. Then I've got Amazon, and then I've got Paramount and CBS, Paramount, whatever it is. That's pretty much it. I think we have Hulu still too, which is not much either. So there's my 4 packages. I got everything I need for those things. The fact that you have all the combat sports that I give a shit about, it's all going to be on Paramount. Makes my life a lot easier.
Absolutely.
And then also too, when they say, hey, like so-and-so's boxing match is on. Well, where's it at? What channel? Like, is it pay-per-view? It's fucking on Paramount. That's it. That's all I care about. Yeah. So now I don't got to look through 15 different apps. I don't got to try to, nope, it's on Paramount. I know where UFC, I know where boxing is. That's all I give a shit. That's it.
I agree.
But you were talking about the belts there, Dave?
Yeah, so he did an interview. Let me try to get this going for you right now. Somebody's phone's near their microphone.
You? Me?
Not me.
Oh,
It's going to be a Zuffa belt where like the winner of the Zuffa belt has a springboard into like Riyadh season and a championship fight, a Ring Magazine fight.
You and I have never talked about this, but the answer is yes.
That's right, of course.
What will happen?
Of course, yeah. Right.
There will be a Zuffa belt, and then there will be a ring belt. And yes, I will not recognize any of the other sanctioning bodies.
I think it's great.
Oh, dude, I will not recognize it. Like I'm just telling you right now, in the sport of boxing, there's a war going on, and that man right there, he's the center of that war, and they're all freaking in trouble.
What do you mean they're all?
Well, just think right now. Okay, I want you to think about this. Just like I said, there's truly not a lot of networks that are putting on boxing. DAZN puts on boxing, and now Paramount's going to put on boxing. But who's Paramount going to put on? So 50% of who's putting boxing on TV is in Dana's corner. Mm-hmm. That means you have WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF. Those are your 4 main sanctioning bodies for these promoters to go and, okay, we're going to go and we're going to go on DAZN and have this. Well, there's going to be, the amount of money that these sanctioning bodies get from the fighter's purse. Josh, I know, you never boxed, and when you were fighting for Strikeforce and Scott Coker says, hey, I'm going to give you a shot at the lightweight title. He didn't say, Josh, that shot is going to cost you $50,000 out of your purse for the sanctioning fee for the, we'll say the JJJ, right? And then the BBB, who's the other one, they want another $50,000. That's coming out of your purse. And then, the other one, the CCC, they want $45,000. And you got to pay these fees for them to sanction that yours is a championship bout. And then on top of that, Josh, if you win their belt, you've got to pay for their belt. You never did that in MMA. Scott Coker would put on the fight. You never paid anything for sanctioning fees. You never paid for your belt. He gave you the belt that he paid for, just like Dana with the UFC gives you the belt that he pays for. And these are the differences in boxing, and this is why he's getting away from these sanctioning bodies. These sanctioning bodies absolutely do things that you look and you go, that's just, how are you asking that much money from somebody for you to sanction their championship bout? It's crazy. And so that's why in the end, He's got 50% of the TV right now. They got problems.
Yeah, I don't think they can fix anything, John.
Yeah, I'm not sure they can.
Think
they could have if they were smart enough to look at the future and say, okay, we have to change. But they're not. They're stuck in this goddamn model that they have been doing for freaking decades. And because they've gotten away with it in the past, well, we'll just continue on. Times are changing. You got to change with the times.
This is exactly what happened with music industry, right? Like people were just buying a CD. One person would upload it to LimeWire or Napster or whatever, and everyone would just download the songs they wanted. And they will realize, like, shit, we better create a platform that people just buy the songs they want for $1.29 or 99 cents or whatever. At least the artists are getting paid off of that versus people just ripping off. One person buys it and uploads it and rips it off from LimeWire and Napster, and then I don't get paid shit. That's what's happened in the TV industry. John, we've worked in the TV industry for a while, and then being a fighter, you get to know everyone in the TV industry. And what happened was you have a bunch of old heads that are still up there at the top holding on to the past.
That's it.
And when the past is like, that's all they have to hold on to. They're not trying to grow at the time because I'm almost out. I'm almost ready to retire. And so they're just like, I just got to hold on to this job a little bit longer. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, put my head down and just keep going forward. You got to still evolve with the times. And that's the problem, I think, with the TV industry. And the fact that Paramount stepped up and said, look, I'm coming in, I'm going to do this all my way. And we're just going to see what happens. They're obviously dumping a ton of money into it, but I think you can't fight it. You can't fight it for too long. You've got to say, look, right now, especially after COVID, any live sport or any live event, they're killing it. They're crushing it. My cousin owns a tour bus company, like one of the biggest, actually the biggest in the world. And that tour bus company, that tour bus company has everybody that basically they sign with him. Right. So the I Show Speed guy, he rents his tour bus company that travels all around wherever from my cousin. Yeah, it's insane, John. It's insane. But they also understand, like, he's like, my business has been the best business in the world because everybody wants to go to live shit right now. After being locked up for 2-3 years and under COVID, now everyone's branching out. Sure, everyone's on their phone, but they're more actually out doing things. In this situation, if you're going to sit at home, people want to see live stuff. They want to see highlights. They want to see whatever it is. They want to be addicted to that swipe. So live sports brings that to you. And I think in this industry, CBS did and Showtime or Paramount, whatever it is, they did a great job of making sure they signed the two. I'm surprised that they didn't take the WWE with them to Paramount. I'm very surprised that they went to the ESPN. They went that route with them. But I understand because Paramount's probably like, I don't have money to pay for all three of you.
I say, but don't you think it's better sometimes to have, instead of all your eggs in one basket, to have multiple baskets?
Yeah, I think if you're TKO, you're thinking to yourself, yeah, you know what? WWE's never really been on ESPN.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a featured thing on there. It's not really a sport. So they already know the results. We already know the outcome. We don't know it, but they do.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what was probably different about ESPN's known for sports. So they're going to have, I'm interested to see how they integrate them into the ESPN platform.
I want you to know you just shocked Dave. You just tore his world apart.
Tore his world apart. Dave's always thought it was real.
It's real to me.
Real.
It's real to me.
Should cover my ears for this one.
I think that having WWE, UFC, there's all these little fucking letter acronyms. Anyway, so you have all this. You have WWE, you have ESPN, WWE, you have UFC, and now you've got Zuffa Boxing.
Yeah,
you can't have them all in one spot. It would be nice to, but look, to say, look, I'm going to pay you another this many $1 billion to have them. It's just it's too much money out.
Yeah.
We got to see the results first. Maybe later on down the line it comes around. But I think, and also too, when you take WWE to ESPN, you're getting a new platform of viewership, a platform they've never had before. And you have to know that probably a lot of those people that watch those sports, they probably follow some WWE. And if they don't, this is a good opportunity for them too. Because that people are subscribed or have ESPN Plus or whatever it is. they're probably going to watch. So good for them to gather some new fans in the WWE, and for the UFC to finally get on a platform where it's basically free TV. Remember how big it was back when Strikeforce was on CBS? It was huge. It was huge. It was very short-lived, but it was huge.
We won't say why.
It was brutal, John. We had such high hopes at Strikeforce. We were like, this is going to be the greatest thing. This is how we set ourselves apart from UFC. Like, it's going to be a huge deal, because CBS deal with Strikeforce was before the Fox deal.
Oh yeah.
And the Elite XC, and it had the makings of being something huge. It didn't work out. But here we are, full circle, man. UFC is now on CBS and Paramount, and all you can think about is, man, what could have been?
Oh yeah.
What could have been
with multiples.
Yeah. What else you got for us, Dave?
You guys want to touch on the Wanderlei thing?
Yeah, the whole Wanderlei Silva had his boxing exhibition fight against Arturo Freitas, who was a great Brazilian. I want to say he was a lightweight. Might have been super lightweight. Guy always had power and stuff. I did not get to see the fight. I tried to look for it, and then I know that it ended in the 4th round with a DQ for illegal blows or something. There was a fracas inside of the ring at the end, and Freitas's brother cold-cocked Wanderlei as he was moving forward towards him, and Wanderlei got knocked out. And, it's not a good sight to see him lying on the ground. It kind of remind me of the knockout that Dan Henderson had on him in one of his last Pride performances. But Wanderlei you could tell he got messed up. He's talking about he's got headaches, and his eye is still really swollen, and that wasn't the side of the face that he got cold-cocked on at the end. That's a lot of that was from what was going on in the fight that he had. So I don't know what they're going to do with this. Again, it was an exhibition fight, really, and it comes to the point you got to figure out something. Josh, you say it all the time, and when you're a fighter, and you can sometimes you can go back and make money and stuff, but if once you decide you're going to leave, you got to figure out what you're going to do with the rest of your life, because you don't want to keep on doing this.
John, I saw the pictures of him with his eyes swollen.
Yeah.
And then I saw him laid out like that. Like, he's laid out like,
well, he's laid out
like he's fucking put up on a cross.
Yeah.
And I had that moment of clarity. Like, I have no desire to fight anymore.
Okay.
Gone. Like, literally, like that fast. I was like, still kind of like scratching the itch kind of thing. Like, literally. And then I saw his eye. I'm like, good God. Like, you're laying in a hospital bed, cuts on your face, eye is swollen shut. Like, this image of you like laid out, and there's still commotion going on, and you're laid out, and no one's really even paying attention to you.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're just laid out, just fucking. No thanks, man.
Yep.
No thanks. I'm like, I just I have no desire. Like, it, and then also too, like, this was a good, like, we talked earlier in the podcast about how I enjoyed the weekend I had with my son at the Chiefs game and this and that. I'm like I definitely wouldn't take my kid to go watch me fight, especially at 47 years old. I'm like, nah. Like, I don't want to look like that in front of my son. I want my son to see me like that. And even if I did, come out with a win, I'm sure going to be marked up. I don't want my son to see me all banged up and shit either. I'd rather just spend my time, focusing on, whether training my son or training my daughter. And my daughter loves to hit pads. She loves to kick pads and loves to hit pads. So she's nasty, man. She's going to be my fighter probably. And
that's okay.
My son's going to be the other one, but it's just fun. I feel bad for him, man, because I don't know how old is he. What is he, 50 now? Maybe older?
High 40s at least.
Yeah, he's up in the high 40s, 50, somewhere around there. I mean, I don't know. I hate to see him that way.
49. What is he? 49, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, got to let it go, whatever it is. If an exhibition, it was supposed to be for fun. I don't know how much they made, but
he was supposed to be boxing Vitor Belfort. that you look and you go, I just look at it and it's like, you got to stop somewhere. Wanderlei had an amazing career, and he did great things in the sport, but it's time to stop.
What else you got for us, Dave?
We can get a couple of these fight announcements real quick before we wrap.
Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Brown. Ooh, good fight.
It is a good fight. This is one of those ones you look and, Randy Brown is really coming into his own now. He's got such a stature about him for the welterweight division, where, he's 6'3", he's super long. Bonfim is a really talented fighter, but Randy Brown, he's got everything going for him. It's just sometimes you see Randy Brown and he's just looking great, and then sometimes it's just not the same guy. It's like, what's up? So I just want to see Randy Brown come into this fight the way that I've seen him in the past couple, because he's looked great, and Bonfim is a fantastic fighter, only one loss on his record. So great. This is a great main event there that they'll have in the Apex.
Nice. Yeah, Bonfim's, he's good.
Yeah.
Tough. Randy Brown just poses a threat to him because of the length, the reach, the style which he fights.
No doubt about it.
Bonfim's going to have to probably even try to maybe potentially get this fight to the ground. But then on top of that, fight him in a phone booth. He's going to have to try to fight him in close, avoid getting hit with the big shots.
Yeah.
Next fight?
Not always easy to do.
Wanderlei versus Hermanson, John.
I'll tell you, this is.
What do you notice about this, though?
What do I notice? It's a welterweight.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hermanson is going down to welterweight. Jeez, craziness.
That's a big cut. And how old is he? 38, 39?
I don't know if he's that old.
Hermanson?
That's David have to take a look.
Yeah, I think he's pushing probably that 37, 38.
He's been around, no doubt about it, but I'm not sure he's that old.
37 years old.
37, okay.
Yeah, June. So he just turned 37. Still a baby.
Still a baby.
Stylistically, this should be a fun fight, man. Hermanson's got to get this fight to the ground. He's gonna have to try to punch his way in.
Yeah.
Wanderlei is just gonna be a fun. He's just a fun fighter to watch, man.
He's coming up from lightweight, right?
Wanderlei?
Yeah.
Is he coming up from lightweight?
I thought he was a welterweight.
No,
Nope.
it says right there, coming up from lightweight.
Oh, okay. Shit, I can't read that. Awesome. Okay. So they're both, one's coming down, one's coming up. I thought Wanderlei was coming. I thought he was a welterweight all the time. I don't understand. Yeah, this is for me, the weight cut at 37, John, coming down, having to deal with a guy who's coming up, who's gonna be full. He's gonna have all the energy. Doesn't have to worry about cutting the weight during camp. He's just gonna come in. Oh, it's good. It's a lot at 37 years old to cut down to that. Because it's not like you're jumping from 70 to 85, 15 pounds. It's not the same as jumping from 25 to 35, 35 to 45, whatever it is. So
that's true.
That's a huge cut. And he's already seems like he's kind of thin. Hermanson. He already seems like
he is.
Well,
he was always fucking, in good shape. So
yeah,
it's a
good matchup.
I don't know. Wanderlei's tough, but Hermanson's got, I think, too much experience, honestly, and he's too good on the ground.
This is the fight that I'm excited for.
Ooh,
Benil Dariush versus Benoit Saint Denis
in New York. Yeah, I look at this where this is, people were complaining about Benoit not taking the Charles Oliveira fight, and I was like, how are you complaining against a guy that's sitting there going, I would want more time? It's okay. That's being smart. He just had a fight. He had taken time off of, I'm sure from, that win that he had. And then all of a sudden you're saying he's going to fight in 3 weeks. Probably not the smartest idea when you're going up against Charles Oliveira. I think this is a way better decision made, a better fight for him. Benil is absolutely top notch on the ground. In the stand-up, he's awkward, but he's effective. And we'll see where Saint Denis actually wants to try to take the fight. If he wants to keep it standing, or if he normally tries to take people down. You got to be careful with Benil. He's slick on the ground.
Yeah, Benil's a scrambler on the ground. You saw that against Gamrot. You've seen him fight other guys where he's good on the feet as well. it really depends on Saint Denis on how well he can keep this fight on the feet. He can grapple and wrestle a little bit, but on the ground, I don't think it benefits him at all.
I don't either.
The sad part, not the sad part, the thing that may get a little confusing for Saint Denis is that Charles Oliveira had success with hurting him on the feet and then putting him on the ground and being able to do some work and damage from there. Benoit's got some heavy hip pressure. He's got good ground and pound. Like, he's good when he's on top, but he doesn't want to be on the bottom of Dariush. Just the way that Dariush is able to posture over to actually do damage, to pass guard, to control. Dariush is so crafty on the ground. The scrambles, the way he gets back up to his feet, he never settles in. He will make this a dogfight. Where I get a little concerned is for Dariush is that there's moments where I've seen where he gets hit and all of a sudden everything goes out the door.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's you saw it with the Charles fight. It was almost like he looked lost out there. And Saint Denis got the power to make him feel lost.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got to be very, very careful in some of these exchanges. He doesn't get hit with a big shot. Because, Dariush has fought a lot of top-level guys. And not that Saint Denis hasn't fought a lot of top-level guys. He just hasn't been doing it for such a long period of time.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this fight. This, to me, because I'm a former lightweight, I really enjoy watching the lightweights fight and all the other little midgets down below. But I love watching them. I can finally call somebody else other midgets when they're below.
Yeah, there you go.
The lighter weight guys are always, to me, the better fights. I enjoy watching them the most.
Sure.
I give some credit to the welterweight guys as well because they're all extremely talented as well, and they're always fun to watch. But this fight right here has the making of being a really good fight. Is this a fight night or is this?
No, that's in New York. That's 322.
Review, yeah, that's a great fight. Great.
That's the same night as Islam versus JDM.
Yep, I'd like to see where it ends up on the card.
Yeah,
could be good. Let's see.
All right, Alejandro Gutierrez asked Josh John, pick who dog walks who in UFC 320.
Oh, dog walk UFC 320. Let me go back to the UFC card. Pull this bad boy up. Who's your dog walk pick of the week?
Well, it's going to be better than your last one.
I think I won my last one.
You did not.
Oh, I did not. Who was it? I thought I won my last one. I didn't win
No,
the one before
you picked Jake Matthews over Neil Magny, and then Neil Magny ended it was the referee didn't help you because he stopped the fight like a second before the end of the first round. And looking like that Jake Matthews was the winner, but he said no, it's the end of the round because he made a mistake. And then in the third round, Neil Magny ended up getting the tap out. So
Neil Magny tapped Jake Matthews?
Yes.
Oh geez, John.
Oh geez.
I didn't see the fight. I was driving in the car at like 2 until 5 in the morning. Seriously?
Yeah, he did.
I was like, wait, I thought I saw a video. I thought I saw a thing of Jake Matthews with his arms up like this, like he won.
Yeah, well,
send me a picture.
He did. There was that. That was the end of the first round, but no, we're going to do the second round.
Oh, man. John, who are you going with on your dog walk pick of the week?
You need to scroll this thing past the number one all the way up a little bit here. No, you're going the wrong way. I'm going to take Joe Pfeiffer.
Okay.
Joe Pfeiffer is going to be my pick.
All right, now look, this is going to go out on a limb. My dog walk pick of the week. Honestly, I think he's going to come back even stronger. He's going to come back with a better game plan. It's going to be Patchy Mix.
Okay.
I think in this fight, he's got a lot to prove. He's got to get this win. Look, I'm being a little biased. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I want him to have a successful career. He's got all the tools to beat this guy. After seeing, Jacob Wicklack's performances, I'm leaning towards Patchy Mix. He'll be my dog walk pick of the week. In terms of all the other guys, I'm going to get up here on the top. Any other fights that I look at, I would have went with Joe Pfeiffer as well, John.
Yeah.
I would have went with him as well. I also think that Yusuf Zalal gets it done. I think he's able to stick and move, use the speed in and out. And I think he gets it done. I like Josh Emmett a lot. I think, but I think you saw the platform, not the
plateau.
The game plan, pretty much the game plan. The blueprint is what I was looking for. You saw the blueprint on how to beat Josh Emmett when it was written by Michael Johnson. Just stick and move, stay on the outside. He's got to be able to do that for the full 3 rounds, though. So I think Yusuf Zalal, being the younger fighter, the movement, the speed, all those, I think he can get it done. So those are my picks.
I agree.
Last one from Alejandro Gutierrez. John, in the original MMA rules, did you ever consider unlimited rounds until a fighter finishes the other fighter or the team throws in the towel?
Well, in the original rules, there was no rounds, and it was. Let's be honest. UFC 1, UFC. There was no. Let me say this correctly. UFC 1 actually had unlimited 5-minute rounds. They were going to get a break at 5 minutes and go into the next one, and it was unlimited. At UFC 2, there was no rounds at all. It was one round as long as the fight went. UFC 3, same thing. But what was happening is, guys were starting to get better and things. UFC 4 occurs, and you had in the finals, you had Royce Gracie up against Dan Severn. And because the fight was going long, a lot of people's pay-per-view went because they were on a timer, and the pay-per-view shut off, and so the company lost a lot of money. That's when you started to see rounds coming into time limits on the fights, and then it became a 30-minute time limit at UFC 5. So
did you have no judges?
No, there was no judges up to that point. The first time there was judges would have been at the Ultimate, which was between UFC 7 and UFC 8. There was a show called the Ultimate that Dan Severn was the winner of, and that was the first time you had judging done in the UFC.
And so the 5-minute rounds, 5 minutes prior, how did they score the fight?
As far as the judging of it, the rounds really were, there would be a 15-minute round, and then a 3-minute overtime, and then if it wasn't decided with that one, another 3-minute overtime if it was a championship fight. So 15-minute round, 3-minute overtime, regular fights. 15-minute round, 3-minute overtimes for championship fights, and you would judge it off of that. At UFC 22,
who judged it?
There's all kinds of people that judged it. As far as guys I can give you the names of that had no clue of what they were judging.
So it was just like people that UFC selected?
Yeah, it was people that Art Davies selected that were martial artists. Michael DeSabato, who was part of.
Were there any that didn't make sense?
Oh yeah, there was plenty that didn't make sense. but then you got into guys that actually, one of the early judges, I'll say it right now, that was really, not only was he good, he was someone that he kept trying to, get things better and come up with ideas for stuff. Jeff Mullen, who is now the executive director of the state of Nevada. He was one of the early judges and still was one of the best judges there ever was. So, there was guys that came through the early bit of that. There was, a lot of people remember Cecil Peoples and Doc Hamilton and some of those people. But Jeff Mullen was really the guy that he's the one that stood out as this is a guy that you can rely on. Who won the fight based upon his score would probably be right. And then, Sal D'Amato is the guy now that everyone looks to as far as he does more championship fights, more big fights than any other judge there is.
Interesting. Well, John.
Yes, sir.
This is not our last show, I think, together, but it's our last official show together.
Last official.
And I just want to say thank you.
I just want to tell you, thank you so much for not only being my partner on this, being my friend, being a guy that I've always enjoyed screwing around with. You talk about my age and my gray hair way too much. But other than that, I love you. And I just want you to know that. Dave, I want to tell you thank you so much for everything. You had to put up with all my fucking non-computer knowing bullshit, and you were always great with it. So thank you for everything, brother.
Yes, sir.
Dave's got gray hairs as well now because
he's got 3 kids. That's why.
Yeah. All you had to just say was he has a wife. That's it.
That's true. That'll do it.
Needed yet, so
that'll do it.
But yeah, it's been fun. Like I said, it won't be the last. I'm sure I'll be calling you quite a bit, having you on, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds. You said something about you're doing a show on Friday. Talk to me a little bit about
Saturday. I'm sorry.
Is it a new show you're starting? Is it something you're doing with
No. This is a show that I'll be at this is Reality Fights that's always done at the Mohegan Sun.
Okay.
It's done by Kip Kohler. Kip was nice enough to allow me to come and work there. So Mike Mazzulli license me as a referee. I'm going to go and have some fun and get my feet wet again and enjoy myself.
So you're licensed California, New York, Nevada, Connecticut, all those areas.
Yes, sir.
So all we gotta do now is just, I guess, everyone that's listening to this, man, just, hey, we gotta get you back, back out there on the UFC and the Bellators and the not Bellators.
There's
PFL,
no Bellators.
No Bellators. PFL. And have you had any conversations with the PFL at all?
No. I actually, someone asked me if I would be willing to go to Dubai this week, and I was like, I really don't want to fly to Dubai, but I said, yeah, I'll do it. Okay. And then it was like, no, the plane tickets are too much. And I said, no problem. Yeah. And so I got the other one.
Yeah, gotcha. How's your body feeling as far as being able to manhandle some of these guys?
No, it's honestly one of the things that, when I went and did that CJI thing, I went on that fast because I did the 10-day fast, and I've lost now 35 to 37 pounds, and I've been working out again. And I feel great. And so that's part of the reason that I was like, you know what? I can do it. I can pick people up. I can move things. A little bit of the farm stuff helped a little bit.
I'm sure it did.
Things. So, but I've been doing really good. And I feel as good as I have felt in the last 10 years.
All right, my man. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the shows that you do, and obviously we'll be talking some more and keeping in touch because our families are connected forever.
Sounds good, brother.
My man. Yeah. And John, take us away, buddy, for the last.
All right. Well, for the last time, I want to tell everyone out there, thank you so much for tuning in to the Weighing In podcast. Please continue to do so because my man Josh has got the right information for you to understand our sport. I just want to tell you, thank you so much for your time. I have appreciated it. I love you all. We'll see you.